Whoa, what up, man? Ah, I hope you saw the intro, man. It was pretty cool, no? I wonder if I can play it again. I've only got one viewer. Yeah, I changed my time. It was originally going to be 8, but I got bored. I got someone annoyed me. Someone was chatting too much. So I thought, man, what do I need? I need me funds. And then Corey, inspection time is tonight. I don't know what this weird shadow is. Can you see the weird shadow? Or maybe it's this way, the way you're looking. I've got this dark shadow. It looked like, just some, I don't know where that come from. I got no idea, blood. Anyway, yeah, here we go, man. My boy, first. There's a Liam in chains. Big up, Chill B. Do you think Dilian will put in his contract for the Moses fight that he could take PEDs and shekel out? I don't know. I mean, he looks slimmer than he usually does. That's the thing. He actually looks slimmer than he usually does. I think he's been training hard. He knows this is his last chance. He knows, should he win this, yeah, he's back in the game. Right? And he can get a shot at whoever, Usyk. I read that Usyk has been stripped of the WBO title, but I haven't heard more. I heard that online, but I didn't hear more. The pimp stick is here, yeah? The pimp stick is here. The PIMP. Just like Vitaly Klitschko. Have you read that? I'll make a video on him. He's a PIMP and extremely corrupt. Yo, so PEDs and Dilian, I don't know. Hey, yo, Footnotes, what up, man? Remember, quality inspection time. What up, Joe B? I see it. I hope you do see it, my bro. My boy Owen Foster's in the house. What up, my brother? What are you drinking and smoking tonight? You been down the pub? I just got back and they were still talking about the lioness. Oh, please tell me you're joking, bro. No. That's so tragic. Talking about it full stop is tragic. But like, what, 2 weeks later? No, I've been in the pub. I've been doing some work, grafting. And then I had a quick, I went in for a quick pint, one of my locals, and they was rude to me. It was like, oh, can you wait, Triple B? There was one table in the entire pub, one table of people. And I was going to ask a question. There was a yes or no answer. And the fat, useless, ugly manageress who don't know how to run no pub, was rude to me. Can you wait? I'll be with you in a minute. But really abruptly. The amount of money I spend in that gaff, well, I ain't spending no more money. Believe that. Not tonight for sure. And probably not at all. I can't understand. The service industry in the UK is the worst ever. I prefer it if we had the American system. I might want a pillow for my ass. Give me a second, man. And no, my ass has not been smashed like a blood orange, like AKA Skin leaves Gay J's ass. It's just more comfortable. Give me a second. Let me get a pillow. But yeah, it's good to see everyone here. Sorry I changed the time. But, it's quite good. I'm also going to do tomorrow. I don't know if there's any Australian fans here because the problem with the time is that it makes it very difficult for Aussies, and people in, like, say, Korea or Fiji to see the lives live. So I'm doing one tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. UK time. I think that's like, depends what coast you're on in Australia because it's a big country. But yeah, Owen Foster. I can't lie. Corey talk makes me feel kind of good. Yeah, we're going to stop with the Corey talk. I just thought, because of the videos that I put up recently, and you know what? I put a poll up. What do you prefer? Boxing talk, red pill talk, random stories, or Corey talk? Corey talk was number 3. I thought Corey talk would have 0. Oh, by the way, that wasn't no Illuminati thing. That was a proper 0. I thought Corey talk would have 0. You know what I'm saying? But no, 12% of people want Corey talk. So here you go, Corey talk. You reckon that John Fury abused Tyson when he's young, so that's why he's always talking about Corey's. I mean, I know I can see what you're saying. It might not be John Fury. It could be. I mean, he's obsessed. It might be part of his contract, though. By that I mean, like, You know, like he was so red-pilled and based, but he dissed financial institutions and all this kind of other stuff that's going on in the world, back to business. And he got cancelled. Do you remember that idiot that jumps in a sandpit, the ginger guy? This was like, because Tyson Fury's disrespected the Transformer community. I'm not going to turn up to the sports awards. And then Tyson Fury's, I don't care, man. I'm going to turn up myself. You know, he deserved to win it. That was after they beat Vladimir Klitschko. And then they went after him badly in the papers. You remember that? Peter Richards. I hope so. Strip him. I don't want to see Moses Usyk. Oh, what is this? Is it a WBO eliminator? Dilian Whyte vs Moses. Liam Chase, do you think Diddy business takes place in boxing? Oh, 100%. Watch Whyte vs Chisora, gloves are off. I get zesty undertone. Bro, it's worse than that. It's worse than that. Look at Customato. He admitted, and Floyd Patterson admitted in his biography, his autobiography, that he used to sleep with him. Disco Dave's one of the 12%. Disco Dave does do a lot of talk. Oh, no, man, my boy, Andrew in the house with a £10 shekel love already at 7:11. 7 minutes 11. Wow. Shekel love for the champ. Thank you, brother. Very generous. Much appreciated, of course. Remember, you can Bitcoin, you can Litecoin, you can buy me a beer, you can super shekel. But thank you. That's very generous. Thank you, bro. Is AJ fighting Jake Paul? No, I think it's PR nonsense for both of them. I really do. I really do. You know, maybe in 5 years' time, you know. How old is Jake Paul anyway now? What is he, 27 or something? I don't know. Gay Jay is like 33 or 34. I mean, maybe in 5 years' time they might do it. But no, ain't going to happen now. Surely. What's his face? Paul knows he'd be ironed out. I'm not a big fan of Gay Jay, but, I mean, the light... You know, I don't know. He might touch Joshua's chin, but the reality, surely. I mean, if you can't knock out 6-year-old Mike Tyson. By the way, Andrew, thank you, yeah? I was going to try and bribe the people. See, I bought this, yeah? It's a bottle of champagne. Well, it's a half bottle of champagne. And I said, I will open it and start drinking it as soon as someone gives me a super check. But Andrew already kindly gave me a super check. So next time anyone gives me a super check, this is getting opened. It's a Lanson, yeah, and it's a half bottle. I bought it for a friend who done me a favor. I only bought my half bottle because he's not a big drinker, and I don't have that much money. So, but he's got away on holiday, so I thought I'd get my drink on here. Tyson went up to his dad and I fell in a few one time. So John Fury, get your cardi out. Who chants out of their own dad? I know. It's disgusting, isn't it? Liam Chains. Yeah, it's very odd how emotional Matt Tyson gets every time Customato is mentioned. That emotional reaction after so long normal. I mean, obviously Tyson's dad, he didn't know he was a thug. His mother was a hooker. She might have been a drug addict. And his uncle touched him up. I mean, Tyson had a terrible, terrible upbringing. He was bullied badly. You know, he loved his pigeons. So that part of Mike Tyson I really liked. He loved animals. Anyone who loves animals, you know, has got some heart, some gentleness. And some piece of shit killed one of his pigeons, so he destroyed him. Well done. Yeah, you can join Gerald McClellan in the wheelchair. You know. Thank you, Nigel Ben, for getting rid of that piece of shit. Tony Maloney, well, Michael Maloney. Porky records Tommy Fiore's in talks to fight Gay Jay. I heard that too, but there's no proof of that. There's no proof of that. I mean, you know, all these rumors. That's the thing about boxing. It's such a boring soap opera. Rumors. Let's have some proper fights. Yeah. There's no fights this weekend. I think it was a card in Libya. And Mike Perez was fighting, who's a Cuban guy based in Ireland. I think he got beat by Bradis. He's a good fighter. But I don't know, one of my fans told me that, I don't know, he was disqualified or something like that. It was all very dodgy, but it is in Libya. So what do you think, you know? So I don't, there's no boxing on this weekend. Some people have been saying, why are you not talking about boxing? But there's nothing to talk about. What do you want me to talk about? Oh, no, apparently Porky says that Tommy Fiore might be boxing gay jam. There's no way on earth, man. That's just stupid to say that. It's just PR for both of them. They probably got the same agent, and he said, "Yeah, oh, guess what? Hello, Anthony. Guess what? It's your agent. I can't talk now. I'm taking out the batty. No, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Just one. Tell Skins to stop murdering your batty hole, killing your batty hole. I can hear the noises. Just for 1 minute. Can I release a press release that says you're fighting Jake Paul or Tommy Fury? Because that will get you in the papers. You know, it's nonsense, man." Leigh Taylor, what are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying? Custom Honor was a strange one. Like Brendan Ingram seemed to have a fetish for waifs and strays. Brendan Ingram was very creepy. He's another one that's held up as a modern martyr. But he basically tried to rip off Hamed for so much money. He didn't even train Hamed properly. When Hamed was world champion and earning like £10 million purses, he'd say, "No, you got to come in when I say, and you got to come in, and there'll be a bunch of kids there, and you'll just be one of the guys in the gym." It's like, what? And I had to pay $2.5 million for that? Believe that. Customato apparently used to nosh off some of the guys that stayed there. I made a video on it. Have a look. Yeah, Liam and Chase, industry to be rife with abuse. Yeah, what about Dave Coldwell? Why haven't we heard about that? Porky like exposed him, but then he kind of pulled the rug at the end. But the videos are still up there, and there's fighters there, including well-known fighters, Nicky Smedley, and I think Luke Smedley. R.I.P. Luke Smedley. Unfortunately, he passed. You know. And another couple of guys were saying how Coldwell abused them. So it's disgusting. What's next for John Coffey, Triple B? I don't know. He should go back to like working, you know, he should go back to Grenada and enjoy his money. Apparently he got 70 mil, you know. He should just go back and, you know, get himself a nice woman, maybe buy a mango patch, hang out at the local bar but not have too many beers. Liam says, Daniel Dubois been smashing the brass in Brazil. I think he might be even more slow than we first thought. There's a picture of him playing with a toy with a Peppa Pig in the background. Yeah, but part of me likes Daniel because he's not a nasty guy. All that stuff he's said that's been a bit out of order, like Joe Joyce's mother and stuff like that, he's been told to say. And remember when he called out Ergovic, I want you. And he went up to Usyk, didn't he? He goes, Usyk, I was robbed. I want you. Well, you got what you wanted. He did beat Ergovic, and I was surprised. But he all got a proper hiding, even better than the first one, by my man's Usyk. By the way, Usyk, yeah, I'm gonna do a video on him. He released a video which uses secret society numbers a lot. And I've already done a video. Is he part of that? I don't think he wants to be, but I think he has to be. Tony, we're talking about Cameron Clem. Another piece of shit who deserves to get brain damage is Adonis Stevenson. Yeah, Adonis Stevenson was a pimp, a P-I-M-P. And he used to beat the women and all that and steal from them. Yeah, who is it who put him away? Vodchik? It was definitely some Ukrainian or Russian. Yeah, he's another wronger. And I've got no problem when that happens. It takes them... So now they can't hurt people no more. I read Mike Tyson's autobiography a year ago. Cuss was a weird guy, yeah. And it's one of the most depressing books I've read. Why? I mean, it doesn't even have that much boxing. It's just all about degeneracy, drugs, OGs. And I was like, I want to hear more about boxing, you know? John Wood. Hey, John Wood. John Wood with the Wood. It's Dill fighting time. Dilian, nah, it's next week, bro. It's a week. I'll do it live next week. Svenotke. Guten Tag. Guten Abend. Big up Triple B and the fans. Otto Wallin wants to fight Dilian because he's darker than it. Yeah, but then he won't throw any punches, just like last time. He's a blood clot. I'm going to lay off the Otto just for a bit because I think I've rinsed him for enough. It's quite funny. There was a video about Otto, an interview. Hey guys, yes, he's dropped Joey Gamache, his trainer, which is not surprising because that guy's insane. Look at his Insta. All he does is talk about his weird wife and how amazing she is. He's got brain damage, probably from when Gatti earned him out. But go and have a look at his Insta. It's very creepy. He's a terrible trainer as well. He got about $2.5 million though for that Gatti loss. So, you know, he should be comfortable. But Otto's gone to Houston to train with, Randy Shields? Yeah, Tyson said the customer was so paranoid about intruders, he'd be on the ground like a soldier ready to shoot someone. It was an everyday thing, yeah. He's also a member of Secret Society. There's clear signs of it. He's flashed the signs. He's walked around with the number 33 on his back. If you know, you know. And, yeah, he was really into UFOs. He's a weird guy. He was also clearly a batting man. He lived with that woman, but they weren't together. You know, she was a beard. She was a beard. Do you know what a beard is? It's the word for when the Batman is a Batman, and he's with a woman, like Philip Schofield. It's called a beard, so to make them more masculine. Do you get it? Liam. Yeah, I put this from subscribers can only comment just because I'm in a bad mood. I don't want stupid wrong-uns coming. I like Dubab. Brain age must be around 11. Yeah, but he's likable. And to me, that means a lot. Instead of being some street thug, I would not want to be Mike Tyson. No way. Dude is miserable. Oh, he's had a terrible life. People go, oh, no, he made so much money. Well, apart from that, he lost it all anyway. You know, his daughter died in an accident, suspiciously. You know, he got touched up by his uncle. He had no friends when he was young. His dad wasn't around, and he got taken. No. Mike Tyson's had a very difficult life. I would never, ever, ever. My life's been bad enough, but I would never want to swap it for Mike Tyson's life, man. And he may assault me at night. Who's going to assault you? Wait, let's see what that refers to. What are you referring to, brother? Oh, Customato, probably. Footnotes. People hyping Dilian is mad. He's going to be lucky to make it to round 4 without getting killed by enough. I mean, I believe so. But we still have not seen Enrico, a.k.a. Moses Itauma, take a punch. And if, you know, he follows the family chin like Carol Itauma, who got battered by an Argentinian journeyman who never left the country. So we don't know. We'd have to see him get hit. But he's never lost a fight, amateur or pro. And Dilian's apparently training really hard and in great shape. But I'd like to see the weigh-in. I think Dilian has a chance. But most likely, like you said, he'll be probably battered before round 4. Lady Taylor, what's the way you say, man? Paul said he found Emperor Michael haunting his house in the wee hours after he let him sleep in his son's room. Oh, no. Paul said his wife got scared when she saw the size of Emperor's plate. Yeah, I mean, that whole situation was very weird. Apparently he's creeping around the house, but maybe he's just going to the toilet. But I've interviewed Emperor Michael on the channel, and he was very creepy. He turns on you like that. He's such a pussy-hole. You couldn't even spar Sonny Edwards, who outweighed by 40 pounds, even though he was in shape and ready to fight that weekend. He was, no, Sonny, I need 3 months. I need 3 months. And I said, Emperor, you're fit. Yeah, you're being given a great opportunity to spar a world champion and to start up your channel and all that. And he went, don't talk to me. Why don't you spar him? And he switched off. And Sonny, you know, Sonny was kind of laughing his ass off, to be honest with you. Did you see that picture of Usyk put his body warm up to expose the left side of his chest? Yep. You told me about that, or someone did. Now, what it is, for people that don't know, in a certain secret society, part of the rituals to prove, oh no, I've got 33 people watching. Can some more people join? I've got the 33 number. And yeah, they pull up, part of the rituals when they join is they pull up the left side of whatever this gown they wear to show they haven't got breast tissue, to show they're men, because it's only for men, really. Yeah. And he's done other things. 34. Ooh, thank goodness, the 34 number. Yes, yeah, so you know, yeah, it's very suspicious. He may be forced to do that, though, because he doesn't look happy when he's doing these things. And there's a recent interview with his wife, and she keeps on using the number 33. I'm going to do a video on it. One of my fans pointed it out. So thank you for the fun. Liam in chains says, Dave Allen been set up again by Eddie Earn. He should be fighting British Derby against Slow Joe and Cesaro. Terrible fight. He's going to lose and be out again. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I'm going to check the odds now, see if the knockout odds will come out. Like I said, it opened up. Dave Allen was a slight favourite, although basically even. But now, and then it's changed the other way around, right? I want to see, so, and I said to everybody, get on it now. Mahmoudov will batter Allen. Get on it now and put some good money in. I put 20 quid on, which for me is good money because I ain't got much money. But the other thing to remember is this. Hang on, let me just have a look, right? Oh, I was a bit annoyed because Ergovic to knock out Adelaide was 2.8. And I was like, wait a minute, that's a long price. And you've got to take that price quick, especially when the prices open up. But unfortunately, I was a bit lazy. And 2 days later, the price dropped to 2.4. And I was like, which, I mean, I thought 2.8 was a stupid price. That's almost 2-1 for a KO. So what we're looking at, Sky Nicholson's fighting. Oh, I can't wait. What you got here? What you got here? October the 11th. Method of Victory's come out. So we got Allen's 2.1, Arslanbek 1.9. So it's more or less even, right? Method of Victory. This is crazy, man. Okay, so Arslanbek to win is 1.9, but to win by KO is 2.1. What's definitely go for the win then, just to win, because it's only a tiny bit of difference. What is that? 10% difference or something, or a little bit more? Like, you know, you never know. Is it a 12 round? I think it's a 12 rounder, but like, you know, Allen's tough. He might hang tough and be dropped a couple of times and go the distance. You don't know. So, I mean, that's crazy. I was hoping for like, you know, 3.0 or 4.0, but yeah, just dump it on Makhmudov to win. Never good. What's up, Chimpy? I've been good, apart from some people are rude, and I had to bite my tongue, man. You know, it was a woman as well, right? So you can't get too aggressive. But you know, I don't like being disrespected. I'm always polite, super polite. So people walk on you. You get me? They walk on you because they think, oh, no, you won't do anything. And then when you switch and you start getting angry, you get in their face. You start telling them. They get all scared and start painting you as the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? My boy TS Boxing. Salute, Kang. Yeah, what's up? I believe my boy TS Boxing gave me the first ever. Was it Super Shekel or was it Cash App or something? Cash App is in a big part of a big legal problem. You can't use it in the UK, which is a shame, because I used to get a lot of Cash App, and I used to promote them because they would give you a free £5 if you gave a £5 away, and I get a free £5. My boy Jared McGregor, what's up, Chubby? My boy from Australia, what's up, brother? I've set up I will set up after this, an Australian live. What I mean by that is I'll show you the graphic that I've already built. So it's going to be tomorrow, hopefully around 10 a.m. UK time. I think that's about 9 p.m. your time, bro, but I think it depends on where where you're at. So this is the can you see that? Yeah, that's going to be the thumbnail. That's cool, isn't it? It's got Jeff the Hitman Harding on it. My favorite Australian boxer. So that'll be good. So people in Asia, Australia, New Zealand, Fiji can still be awake. Yeah, I forgot about the Eritrean Emperor. Ivan Starth for being caught out on his fake account. He's a mug. He's a wrong un. He's another one I gave chances to. I helped. I gave advice to, and then they turn on you. So now I don't even bother talking to any of these bums. Emperor sat in his bed to eat Eritrean food. Yeah, that looks like someone was sick in it. No, what was I say? Yeah, the cat ate a piece of shit, vomited, and then no, a dog took a dump on the floor, a cat ate it, and it was sick. That's what Eritrean food looks like. Terrible. It's just a slush. Not last time I went to London, but one time I went to London, and recently, and I went to, I saw Eritrean restaurant. I thought I was going to go in and try it out and do a review, but do a review of Eritrean food. But I didn't in the end. I went and got some African food, some jollof rice, but it wasn't that good. I made better jollof rice than this Nigerian place. You know what I'm saying? It was way too soft. It wasn't that spicy. I was disappointed. They probably thought, well, we give this white boy our leftovers. You know, this white boy ain't gonna know shit. Let me tell you this. I have to give him the old stuff. This white boy don't know nothing about the jollof rice. Blood clot. Eritrean food is awful. Oh, you tried it, bro. Tell me what they're like. What kind of dishes they have? Carl J in the house. Whyte will start crossing his feet after 2 rounds and revert to swinging wildly. Actually, that's a good point. He does have a tendency to do that. That's well noticed, bro. Thank you, Carl. Yeah, probably. Carl J. Is that Carl Johansson? No, probably not. Mark Maloney. Michael in the house. Great to see my brother. Actually, didn't like Chin's Itauma. Yeah, you said that. I mean, it all depends. I've never heard any rumors that Itauma's chin is dodgy, and he's got this massive heat. You know, it's like on my thumbnail I made him look old because like I've never seen a 20-year-old guy who's 250 pounds, who speaks the way he does, who's as confident as he does, and he's got a receding hairline at 20, and he's from Slovakia and Nigeria, so he might well have a dodgy, you know. They said actually a lot of they used to say a lot of travellers sometimes used to in the juniors, you know, they don't have no birth certificates. A lot of them they would just lie about the age, so they have an advantage over juniors. If you watch Itauma's fights against juniors, it looks like a 30-year-old, 35-year-old man against a 17-year-old kid. I'm very suspicious of Moses Itauma. And they're still talking about, oh, he was tried to be the youngest heavyweight champion since Mike Tyson. Stop. No. Enough of that stupid story. Can't you come out with something original, you bums? They don't know what's up with Emperor. No idea. It's weird. 1 minute he's all over YouTube, desperate for attention. Suddenly disappears for months, then reappears. Maybe he gets sectioned. He probably goes on the nonce wing in prison. I don't see Dilian winning. I don't necessarily. But I might dump a fiver. I got 8. In fact, I got 8 to 1. I thought, you know what? Who knows, man? Who knows? If Itauma's chin isn't, you know, I mean, Whyte can punch. He's not like, you know, Mike Tyson, but he can punch. So, I mean, it's possible, but I don't. I mean, if I'm bet, as I said, the first thing you think is, if I had to bet my life, what would I bet on? Well, obviously, I bet on Itauma to win. But the 8 to 1 odds, they're quite long. They're worth a fiver. My boy Michael says, I agree, the Russian would beat Allen. I so agree. I'd be shocked if Allen won. It's not impossible. Makhmudov's a bit crude. But who beat him? Guido Vianello, who's a lovely boxer when he wants to be, bust up his eye. So he couldn't see out of his eye. Oh, I don't want to do that. Because I was about to do that. But that's also, people might think I'm Illuminati. Like, okay. I think he should definitely. And they got beat by Caballero. But Caballero was just awesome. And as I said, he's the second best heavyweight boxer on the planet, Caballero. And I talked about him 3 years ago. I said, he is not. People don't understand this guy's decent. I'm on money against him, against Makhmudov, 9 to 1, against Sanchez, he's the underdog. Gilles Lejean, I think I put Caballero on. He done Gilles Lejean with body shots. He's done Makhmudov with body shots. He throws a lot of punches. I mean, you know, yeah. Liam, he seems bipolar and gay. Why are you gay? As Pastor Dr. Martin Semper says, why are you gay? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't care about him. Oh, come on. Tony Maloney, I'm not answering that, man. That's just grim, man. Sorry, bro. Allen's favourite, surprisingly. No, not anymore, he ain't. He's a slight underdog. It depends which bookie you go to. I'm looking at odds checker, right? I say the Russian, but it's basically evens. It's like the difference is like 5% with the price. I say the Russians really iron him out if Allen's out of shape. I say the Russian has a better chin than Johnny. Oh, definitely. Johnny's been proved to be chinny. Those punches were not devastating. And he so badly he went down like that. He flew down like that, didn't he? As the towel was coming in. And also, you know, the first fight. Yeah, Johnny Fisher is chinny. I didn't expect him to me. He's got quite a big head. And people have been saying in sparring, yeah, he's got a solid chin. But that's obviously not the case. It's different when you're in the ring and you got a guy with properly taped up gloves. If you ask any pro, especially their first fight, you go, how did it feel when you first wrapped your hands in gloves? And they go, it felt like I had, you know, a cast on my hand. It was so solid, you know, and with pro gloves as well. So there's a big difference in sparring 16-ounce gloves with a head guard and getting hit with someone with basically a cast on their hand, 10-ounce gloves, and hitting you full power. Later, this is talk about US women's basketball getting dillies thrown at them on the court. The coach had on Ponce, it proves there is OnlyFans TM in the crowd. Oh, OnlyFans makes me sick. I don't want to give them any. What's the word? Any talk, any chat about them. I don't want to give them any. They're disgusting. Owen for the run fancy fight job. Ibiabuchi be Samuel Peter Ujiav. It's hard to say because Ibiabuchi got nicked for molestation, kidnap, beating some hooker. Peter was never that good. Who did Peter? He won the world title, didn't he? I can't remember who it was against. He did put Vlad over a few times, but Vlad is notoriously chinny, as we know. I think They fought twice, did they? Well, Vitali also bashed up Samuel Peter. Let me have a look. You know, I never really rated Peter. He was just a big, ugly. Look how ugly he is. Hang on. Let's see it. Anyway, I won't show it. But he ugly, man. He ugly. The man is ugly. So, yeah, let me just have a look at what is Samuel Peter. What was his? He's still only 44. He'll probably come. He should fight Ibiabuchi. Why don't they do that? Peter vs Ibiabuchi. They're both Nigerian, right? And they both live in the US. So, yeah, he lost a 12-round division to Klitschko, but he did put Klitschko over. Whether he won, he beat Tony twice. I'd forgotten that. Maskayev, he KO'd in 6. Maskayev was always a bit chinny. Vitali battered him in 8 rounds. Eddie Chambers, he lost. Who did he win the title against? Oh, Vladimir did fight him again. I'm right. KO'd him in 10. Hellenius KO'd him in 9. Kubiak Purev stopped him. Mahmoudov KO'd him in a round. I mean, this does not sound great for Samuel Peter. Did he? I'm sure he won the title. Who was it against? He won the interim world heavy against Jamil McCline. The thing is, he might have won the WBA title, right? But BoxRec, for some bizarre reason, does not list WBA title fights. Any of them. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. The suspicion of Itauma's chin. Alan the other day sounded sus when he said Itauma had a good chin on TalkSport the other day. Well, we shall see. We shall see. Very true. When you play it, people think you're weak. I know, it's terrible. And it's like, it's just like you try, you know, even normal people take advantage of you because they're in a bad mood and speak to you badly. And then when you front them and they play the victim. I'm sick of these kind of people. Most people are whack. What's happening now? Another bird filming in the gym. Nah, man. I think I spoke to her properly. She knows. With a bubble butt like that. She at least she admitted she was filming me. Most people just go, no, it wasn't, no, it wasn't, no, it wasn't. But then she lied and goes, I deleted it. And I said, you haven't even touched your phone since I just spoke to you. How could you delete it? Don't do that again. If I was filming you, you would complain. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, 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 yes. Hey, the breeding bull is here. Hello. He's all for diversity. Who have you bred, my bull? Have you been breeding recently? The breeding bull like Sugar Shane Fury. Nice to see you thinking of the funds overseas. Guys, diversity is a greatest strength. Well, yeah, I'm thinking of doing a special African or Indian live. Yeah, because diversity is our greatest strength. Never good. Many of the foreigners eat rice and wet food with their hands. The concept of finger food doesn't exist. Yeah, I mean, I think that's it's disgusting, isn't it? And you know, like in India, they never wash their hands, and even if you touch their notes, they're covered in feces, right? That's why everyone gets poisoned over there. And you see the street food over there; it's disgusting. They'll mix it up with their hands, which they've just used to wipe their own ass. I'm never going to India. There are a few people in the chat link. Dilian think can do it and impressed by Moses. Should we do a poll for us? That'd be interesting. Yeah, maybe I will. I don't know how to do a poll on here. I've never looked at it. I'm not going to fiddle around with that now. Eritrean women are nasty. Some, looking? I mean, I think they're like Ethiopian women. They actually look a little bit like more slim and a little bit like, who's that one that David Bowie married? Imar? What was her name? Imar? I think she's actually from Sudan. But for that part of Africa, they're actually a lot slimmer. You know, whereas like West Africa, they tend to be larger. Eritrean food looks like Gage. Fought little AK skins not out on the plate. Oh, thank you, man. I won't eat tonight. Not eating nothing. I'm my boy, bang daddy paddy. Pop, pop, bang. Looking fit. Been doing a road work with the hobnail boots. Yeah. Also, I've been steeping my hands in petrol. Yeah, I steep my hands in petrol for 20 minutes every day. Now they're really hot. Boom. Pop. Bang. Yeah, and also, I had a bit of difficulty getting wood. So also I've been steeping my Corey in petrol for 20 minutes. And I don't know, I think I've broken it now. Imagine that, steeping your Corey in petrol and then someone sets fire to it by mistake. Who would say Chubby's favorite fight ever? Don't have to be the greatest fight. I'll just give you entertainment fond memories? Great question. It's always hard to say, and it changes, you know. For example, I used to really love Ricky Hatton, but then he became such a degenerate. I couldn't back him because he was exciting. He was, you know, he seemed like a decent guy, but now he's just a prick. Ever, I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I liked lesser known fighters. Like, I don't necessarily go for the big champs. When I was young, I didn't like Rocky Marciano because I thought he was a bit of a bully and he was unbeaten, and I kind of like a bit of vulnerability in a fighter. But then I realized he was super. But I wouldn't say I like guys like Tommy the Duke Morrison, Randall Tex Cobb, you know, heavyweights that have vulnerabilities, you know, and that are the Randall Tex Cobb's very funny. He's done a lot of movies too, and Tommy R.I.P. I really liked. There's a bunch of others. People are going to call me a racialist. Otto, if Otto's here, he's going, what? You only like white fighters. Why? Diversity is our strength. Let me think of a black fighter I really liked. I used to really like Nigel Benn. He was my favorite fighter at the time. Nigel Benn. He's a bit suspect now, though, but he took care of Gerald McClellan and put him where he should be. So, yeah, Nigel Benn. Eubank had a bit of a love-hate. Nazim, same thing. Sometimes I really like him. He was entertaining. Other times I think, nah, he's just too arrogant. I don't like arrogance. I don't like cockiness. I don't like wrong-uns. I like Julian Jackson. Julian Jackson. Julian Jackson, you know, the massive puncher. But also, you know, a bit vulnerable. Julian Jackson. And he's still got the same haircut with a flat top. Yeah, I like Julian Jackson. Unfortunately, his son, who Andy Lee knocked out. I think it's John Jackson. No, maybe I'm mixing that up with John David Jackson. Anyway, one of Jackson's son is a rapist, and he's now in prison. So that's not great. But that's not Julian's fault. Itauma's perfect role model for those. Yeah, you know how to put it. He fits the diversity bill perfectly. Yeah, half Slovakian, half Nigerian, but also British. Yeah, and also he's like he's the new Gay J. He's a replacement for Gay J, because Gay J actually has got Irish. I think it's grandmother. He's got Irish blood, and he's Nigerian, but he's in Britain as well. And apparently, according to the papers, I've said this many times, he's the man every woman wants her daughter to bring back. As if, firstly, they're not going to because he's a batty man. But Moses will be the next Gay J. But he is a Christian and makes that clear, so I quite like that part of him. Because will Whyte make it to the fight? I mean, it is a question. I believe so. I believe the payday is too much. I believe he's trained hard. Yes, definitely. And geez, Chubby, you post on box? You mean the Serbian hairstyling forum? No, I don't post, but I do lurk. But no, I don't post. It's become a bit whack. It repeats the same. In fact, the whole forum's become a bit whack. Poll's a bit whack. Poll used to do some awesome stuff. I've been there for like 10 years, but you know, they used to like they called in on Twitter, ISIS, who we all know is basically backed by the CIA, but put a picture of them their camp, and all these nerds on 4chan, on Poll. Looked at this, looked at the scenery, just the background, all this, and they found out exactly where they were, and they passed it to the American who bombed the crap out of them. But then again, the American, you know, I don't like the American arm. I don't, you know, the squaddies, but the people that rule it, you know, they're bots, aren't they? So yeah, I don't post, no. Michael Maloney. I agree Itauma's older, so is Whyte, I reckon. Yeah, Whyte's meant to be 37. He claims he has a kid at 13. We've never seen this kid. He's also seen a bit fruity with Dean Whyte, whatever his name is, Dean Povetkin. But I don't know. I'm a boy, James Sweeney. What up, my man? Big up, Chubby. 39 degrees in Bosnia, proper country. Is that where you are, bro? Is that on holiday? Yeah, I quite want to go to Croatia, you know, Serbia, Bosnia, Albania even. Apparently it's beautiful country. I know a lot of Albanians, but they're all drug dealers. Bang Daddy Paddy. Mike Perez had a no contest in Libya last night. Had 1 week notice. Yeah, it took him 2 days to get there. The other guy took a dive. Yeah, I'm going to look at that. I was hoping that it was going to be live because there's no boxing. I was hoping DAZN might pick it up, but you know. Triple B, do you still post on bot? I've just answered that, bro. What are your thoughts on Bonza, Triple B? I mean, it's all nonsense. That's why I find it so boring. You know, they call each other nonces, and you know, and it's a bit of a yawn, man. I still have a look. I still lurk, but it's not that. Yeah, the Brazilian stroke Mongolian basketball form just ain't what it used to be. You know, Sweeney, are you going to any fights this week? Well, I'd considered going to Sheffield to watch Dave Allen vs the enormous Nephilim Yeti Mahmoudov, but I looked at the undercard. It's pathetic. 6 fights, you know, none of them any good, you know. A couple of prospects and a couple of flyweight. No way. What, paid to go up from London all the way up to, you know, London all the way up to Sheffield. Pay for the hotel, pay for a train, pay for fight ticket to watch one fight? No way. So I don't know. NG's is asking the same question again and again. Whyte, there's 2 left feet and both set in concrete. Yeah, he's not the swiftest on the feet, but he can certainly punch. Footnotes. Agate is legit. I like that rhyme, man. Nice one. Boxing Classics. Yo, Chubby, I haven't sorted out. Do you ever get overwhelmed on computers, documents, backups, emails? It's all crumbling onto mine. Yeah, it's terrible. I've got something like 8 computers. Some of them don't work no more, but they've still got information. Yeah, on the hard drive, important information. So, yeah, it's a pain. And you remember that story about that guy who allegedly his woman threw his I don't believe it. I think it's a lie. You know, I mean, it's got to be a lie. His woman threw his computer away, and it had something like 100 million worth of Bitcoin on it. I don't believe that. It sounds like another PR story. Most of the so-called news are lies anyway. But yeah, it's hard to live with this stuff. Yeah, it is hard. And you know now, like, I don't know if it's even been passed, but they're trying to pass it, and they will pass it. Keir Starmer's pushing for the government to have access to everybody's iClouds, or, you know, whatever it is, backups. And you imagine that will have your personal pictures, personal documents, and have pictures of your girlfriend naked. I mean, what? And the government says they should be allowed to see your private stuff. It's sickening. And Keir Starmer's a batty man. And what happened to those Ukrainian rent boys? What happened there? They've obviously been paid off, man. Thoughts on UK national age verification laws? Well, there you go. That's part of the same story. It's probably a tool for digital censure. It's 100% a tool for digital censure. I mean, I think it's disgusting that prawn should be allowed on the internet, full stop. But they will start doing this for, they'll start pushing this for, I mean, they already do it for betting. You've got to give them your, in the old days, you just sign up betting, you email, you can make up a name. I'd have like 3 accounts on Bet365, right? To take advantage of their special deal, right? But then they start to ask for everything. They want your ID, yeah, they want your address, they want this, that, and the other. Johnny Fisher made Dave Allen look like Joe Frazier. Well, exactly. And that's why everyone's getting so excited about Allen and thinking he'll win. Oh, yeah, Polymarket take bets for Dilly colours on which day? What's that, man? What are you talking about, man? That sounds grotesque, but food knows. I always tell the gypsies I spar, take 10-ounce gloves off, put a 16-ounce gloves off. Yeah, I remember that. I remember them guys in the gym, right? And he'd be sparring. I'd put on a 16-ounce. And sometimes they'd even be bigger guys, and they'd put on a 10-ounce gloves. And you'd be like, what are you doing? And they'd be experienced guys. I could take those off. What, you want me to wear 16-ounce gloves? And you've got, you know, yeah. And I'm talking even pros and stuff. Yeah, it's wrong. I need to kick people out who film in the gym. Yeah, it should be completely legal. It's a breach of people's privacy. You know, and that's what I told this one. You're breaching my privacy. You haven't asked me. It's up on the wall. It says, do not film other people. Oh, I'm sorry. I've deleted it. No, you haven't. You haven't even touched it yet. Deleted it. Late Taylor. Our old neighbours are Indian. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a cliche, isn't it? Yeah. Plus, I'm first sparring in 10-ounce gloves. Well, if you're both wearing 10-ounce gloves, I don't have a problem with that. But not if one of you's got 16-ounce gloves. Well, I have done that before. I actually sparred some Utes, I don't know, about a year ago. And I had these great 16-ounce gloves on, right? And he put on his gloves and they're like 10 or 12 ounce. And I'm like, it doesn't matter, man. Let him do his thing. But because my gloves are so big, it was very easy to cover up like that. And you open them. So instead of, you're not even close, open. So, you know, just block every single shot and then bop, pop him on the nose. There should even be a men-only gym. I agree. I mean, they've got some places they've got women-only gyms, and the women are going around like they're naked, filming. Why can't we have men's gyms? You know, to be honest, that's where the Arabs and that have got it right, man. You know, they have a separation between the genders. Yeah, my daddy. Yeah, what up, man? She'll be in everyone. Yeah, it's good to see you, man. That's right, Nevergreen. They got women gyms all over the place, man. It's ridiculous. They tell my old neighbors were Indians. Their uncle come home to visit. They told my old man that uncle died over there on the cause. Can you imagine that? How bad the hygiene must be? You know what was funny? You know what's funny? You know what's really funny? That you know, they had all these right-on idiots and libtards. There's this special charity that builds toilets. You know, that builds toilets in India, right? To try and teach them about hygiene. And no joke, man. The local Indian village, so they built a nice toilet for the Indians to use instead of chitting by the roadside, which is what they're known for. They'd even do it when they come over to Canada and places, and they started to worship it. They literally started. They built a shrine to the toilet and worshipped it. Michael Maloney, Wayne Alexander was always a good watch. Yeah, man, he was a great puncher. He just touched people and they go blop. You know, like Ben would like swing, wouldn't he? Nigel Ben swing. You see the power. But like, you know, Wayne Alexander will be just like bop, and the guys just go whoop. It was amazing, amazing power. Ian, can you remember Billy Hardy lives on my brother's street? Yes, and I meant to do a video on Billy Hardy. I quite like Billy Hardy because I felt a bit sorry for him because he was so ugly. I'm not being mean, but you know, not everyone can be pretty, right? But I always liked him. He was a gutsy fighter. He deserved the decision against Orlando Canizales in the first fight, no doubt. And I think it was in the Britain, and they gave it to Canizales. And Canizales was, you know, a great fighter. But then he got waxed in the rematch. But Nazim Mohammed also, I think I was there. I was there at that fight. It was in Manchester, England. And Prince was on the bill. Who else? Was it Robin Reed and Henry Wharton? I can't remember. And he caught Hardy right on his nose and his face, like it was like it obviously really hurt. But he's a guts guy. Funnily enough, this is not a Corey channel. I'm sick of talking about Corey's, even though we've got the Corey inspector right here. Someone told me, you know, I think someone messaged me and said, "Oh, you know that Billy Hardy?" I said, "What?" They said he was known for having a giant Corey. And this other guy chipped in and goes, "It's funny because there seem to be so many gingers with giant Corys." Anyway, it's not a Corey channel. I'm looking at Tommy Morris' situation. Just get your opinion. Do you believe Tommy had HIV late AIDS? I spoke to his wife. I was going to get her on the channel, actually. I still could, I guess. But she has papers that say it was that he was tested later and he didn't have it. But he obviously fell very ill and fell to pieces. I think he refused to do certain rituals, you know, and they destroyed him. It's the only way he would have got, you know, the disease that starts with 3 letters and then goes to 4 letters when he gets serious is by injecting steroids, because you know you can't get it by having normal dates with a woman. It's virtually impossible. Virtually impossible. Unless you've got a huge open wound on your Corey and she's got a big open wound on her pum pum. I mean, interacting with Bird was a rude slag. In hindsight, it's a bit of simp for not I would say effing her off sooner. Being nice gets you nowhere. I know it's terrible. And then you get them women, "Oh, you want a nice boyfriend to treat me nice?" And then they get a nice boyfriend. And they go, "Oh, he's too nice. He gives me the ick. He gives me the ick." You know, just repeating something they read in a whack women's magazine in Cosmopolitan. You know, and then they go out with a bad boy. You know, I'm a mix of both. Hey, Easy Double Q, what are you saying, brother? The polls hacked, and they found out most of the posters were from Israel. Yeah, I mean, the IDF posts that all the time. They're always posting stuff about black Corys and the one guy was busted, you know. He was writing pretend because he used VPN, so you don't know that they're all from Israel. Yeah, and some people say actually the server goes through a CIA or FBI server. Why is this all? Can we see? Why is there? You know, there's a weird shadow, and there's, I don't know, maybe I need to clean. I can't. No, man. I'm not going to clean my camera now. Yeah, it was hacked. That's right, but it's there again, and it's no surprise to me. The IDF have specific offices dedicated to hacking, to spreading misinformation, PR, as do the CIA, as do MI6. What is it called? The 77th Brigade. Have a look. Shout out. Soy Jack Party for the hack. Macho Gavacho. I thought Paul fed the coordinates to the Russians and Syria. I mean, it's probably all of the above, man. It's so hard to know. Oh, you mean, are you talking about when I said they bombed it? No, it wasn't the Russians. It was the alleged ISIS, who was CIA-funded operation anyway. Whyte look about 50. Itauma looks 35. Both liars. Yeah, I agree. Did the basket weaving forum recover? It did, quite quickly. Even they had some old posts, but you know, you should never trust that anyway. Lurk, but there's no point getting in conversations on that thing, however tempted you may be. By the way, remember, thank you to my boy Andrew, but you can super check, you can buy me a coffee, you can Bitcoin, you can buy me, what's the other one? Litecoin. I bought this for a pal who done me a favor. It's a half bottle of champagne. I'm only going to open it on reception of a super check. So hurry up, man. I want to drink this. I don't want it to get warm. Disco Dave. I'll bomb ya. Yeah. That wrong and big John Fury. Apparently Butterbean wants to fight John Fury. I mean, it's another nonsense. Butterbean fell really ill. Have you seen him on the pants? Butterbean's a bit deluded. All these old fighters can be so deluded. Oh, I'm better than I ever was. What, you're 60 now, right? You weigh about half what you used to. And then you see them on the pads and on the gloves, and they're terrible. It's like when Chuck Liddell on the UFC came back to fight Tito Ortiz. So I think he beat once or twice in the UFC, but he looked so shot when he's hitting the bag. And whoever's doing the comments, look at Chuck. He looks as good as ever on the bag. And I was like, he looks terrible. But he didn't get great odds. But I put Ortiz in an accumulator because I thought Liddell's going to get whacked. And he did get waxed. Tyson Fury looks like clockwork orange on your jumper. What was the thing? That's a Corey inspection. That's part of his Corey inspection kit. When he wants to inspect parties really close, he puts on his little ting. Again, I'm not doing the sign, by the way. I was imitating, what's called a monocle. Oh, we've got somebody else. Big up the Triple B show. My boy Fook knows. Well, we've got to celebrate. My boy Fook knows. We got to celebrate. We got to open the champagne and shit. Where's bitch? I don't have any champagne glasses, obviously. But yeah, let's open this champagne to celebrate the super shacks. My boy Footnose and my boy Andrew. Thank you so much. There's always so much snobbery attached to champagne and how to open it and when to drink it and all that. It's nonsense. I hate it when you see them guys, they play like in Formula One or whatever, and they get this bottle of champagne and shake out and go boom and squirt it everywhere. Why do you do that? What a waste of champagne. I do quite like champagne as it happens. And some people get really. I remember, right, when I was doing well, and I was in a bar. It's just a normal kind of bar, nothing flashy. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to have some champagne. So I bought myself some champagne. And this woman that I barely knew come up to me and goes, why are you drinking champagne? What are you celebrating for? Like trying to patronize me. Because like, oh, I think I'm special because I'm having champagne. Ricky Hatton often asks. Ricky Hatton drinks Guinness and champagne. I've got a friend who saw him. My hands are so broken up because of boxing and street fighting. I know I sound like Gay J or the Dubon, but I can't grip like I used to. There you go. That's how you open a bottle of champagne. So yeah, obviously this isn't the correct glass for the champagne, but I don't give a shit. It still tastes the same. It doesn't matter what receptacle it is. I mean, there are reasons why I have different receptacles. Wine glasses have got that cup and then the stem, so that so that you can either warm it if it's red wine, or if it's a white wine you don't want to warm it, you can hold it by the stem. Anyway, so thank you to my boy Andrew, my boy Footnose. Cheers. Cheers, guys. Anybody else on the champagne? Yeah, Nazim destroyed Billy Hardy. I think it was in a 1 round at 90 seconds. I mean, Hamed at his best could bang very hard. Paul Ingle gave him a good fight. But he eventually got ironed as well. But Ingle, unfortunately, was badly hurt. And I always wonder why no one talks about him. I mean, a lot of it is hypocrisy from the boxing press because they don't want to, you know, they don't want to remind themselves of the dangers of boxing. But the last picture I could find was in 2020, opening some pub, and he was absolutely enormous. I mean, it's a shame. The Yorkshire Hunter. I like Pauling. I watched him fight live. He stopped Colin Sweet C. McMillan. Another fighter I really like, actually, Sweet C. McMillan, but he stopped him at York Hall. The Breeding Bull. Is Australia and America as woke as the UK? Yeah, it'd be nice to know from Aussies and from Yanks, septics, some septics, whether those work. I mean, I think it depends where you are in America, because America's so different. It's, you know, Australians, obviously since mass immigration, it's changed a bit, but Australians more or less had a certain character, right? But America is so different. I mean, you get hood rats, you get Mormons, you get Amish, you get wasps, you get, you know, it's so different. But you know, the libtards are everywhere, unfortunately. Nevergoon says they aren't. They aren't. Well, I'm glad to hear that the Aussies have retained some manliness, but some parts of America are super woke. Breeding Bull. Australia's more woke than the UK. Oh, okay. Is more woke than the UK. The US is a lot less woke than the UK. Oh, that's very interesting. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, have you been to both? I mean, because like I said, America's so big and so different. It depends which you go to. You go to San Francisco, it's going to be very different from going to the Appalachian Mountains. You know what I'm saying? So it's very hard to generalize about Americans. You can't really, but Aussies, yeah, Aussies are pretty cool. I got a lot of good Australian fans. I'm doing a special. It's not a show just for Aussies, but it's on the Aussie timeline tomorrow, 10 a.m. UK time. Since I emigrated, says Lady Taylor, I binge watched 80s, 90s TV shows. The shows were so chill and non-self-loading back then. Yeah, the ads in the US are full of sisters and zesties. Where did you emigrate to and where from, brother? What's your prediction for Whyte v Itauma anyway? I mean, at this point, you have to go for an Itauma stoppage win. Probably within 6 rounds. But I'm just hoping for a good fight. And I'm hoping that, you know, Itauma's chin will be tested because we need to see that, especially with the heavyweights. It's hard to be good heavyweight if you can't take a shot. Vladimir did okay. But weirdly enough, in some fights, Vladimir showed a good chin. Have you ever seen David Gay v Vladimir Klitschko? It was a boring fight. Hey, he lost his bottle. Totally lost his bottle in that fight, and you can see it. He was trying to shake up Klitschko, going, "I want to lick the clit," and he was doing all this silly stuff. And Klitschko just sat there again, and Klitschko totally outboxed him. But if you watch that fight, I think he dropped Gay, didn't he? Dropped him to his knees. I'm surprised Gay didn't get his Corey out and start to nosh it. But because he likes both men and women, he's admitted that. Anyway, if you actually watch that fight, which Klitschko dominated, both of them take huge shots. They're both great, huge punchers, and they both take big punches, bang on the chin, and neither of them get hurt. It's quite weird, because you remember David Gay got knocked out by a guy from Coventry, yeah, in the ABA finals. I think it was the first round, you know, by a little shot. I used to know his name. A guy from Coventry. He went pro and didn't do anything. Have you watched Murdoch? No, I've got to finish Missed in Between. I stopped watching it. I binge watched the first 2 series. I stopped watching it because I fell into a bit of a depression. I don't want to talk about me mental health, but I felt low for a variety of reasons, and it's quite dark, so I didn't really want to watch anything too dark. Do you think Lennox Lewis sip champagne out of Diddy's ass? Oh, certainly, and way worse. Apparently Scarborough abandoned Paul Ingle after his injury. Is that right? That's a horrible thing. I mean, he put Scarborough on the map. You know, he was a good world champion. You know, he was good. A Yorkshire Hunter. You know, he wanted to do. He was a country guy kind of thing. He liked to do country things. Yeah, that's terrible, man. You just never hear about it. They should do a Where Am I Now in boxing news. Whoops! I've got some more love. My boy Fergus Stevenson. Bring out the champagne and shit. Thank you, brother. Fold 99. Thank you so much. Not a Corey channel, dude, but that is a funny Corey video. Did do you think Fury may have been given HGH as a kid? I don't think so. He didn't have any signs of it. I just think he happened to be tall. I mean, you got to remember his dad. I mean, the HGH guys are obvious, Gage and Dubois, without doubt, and probably Itauma as well, by their physique and the marks on Itauma, Gage, yeah, and Dubois have all those weird marks that change places on their hands all the time. That is a clear sign of HGH. There's a word for it that I can't remember, but it starts with A. So, yeah, no, I don't believe Tyson Fury was doing it. He may have been, but he didn't have any signs of it. Ah, Monsieur Black Caller. Hello, bro. Big up to you. Yeah, what up, bro? What's going on, man? What have you been up to, man? How you been? How's it going? What are your thoughts on Itauma? What are your thoughts on Itauma, bro? Do you think he's, what's the word, overhyped? Do you think he's actually 20 or 35? Do you think he's chinny? It's always interesting to hear, because that's the next big fight. And also Ergovich Adelaide. They're the two fights we need to talk about. Oops, I think, what did I do then? I might have messed something up. Yeah, so thank you, guys. Thank you very much for the love. Very generous. All Anglo countries are feminist hellholes. 90% of conservatives here in America are crypto leftists in the closet, other than the Amish. Yeah, the Amish, and what's the other one? Not the Mormons. There's another similar bunch of people to the Amish, but they were actually involved. I can't remember their names, man. I hate not remembering things properly. That's what you get. And you've taken too many punches to the head. Early dementia. Let me find out. Yeah, and these guys basically live more or less like the Amish, but they're not as well known. And I don't think they're quite as strict as the Amish. And they got done for transporting drugs from Mexico. Ah, the Mennonites. That's it. I think the Mennonites and Hutterites. I think the Mennonites got done for bringing drugs from Mexico to America, or some of them. Australian lockdown rules were way worse than ours. Yeah, they were, from what I remember. I think there was some pushback there. Yeah. At least Aussie's got some fight in them. Fergus, is rumor travelers abuse PDs at young age? Is that true? Ah, Mr. Starmer. I like your hat. Thanks. I hadn't heard that. I don't know. Personally, I want to see Itauma Iron. I don't like him. He's a fraud. I don't know. Is there enough? I mean, he's obviously been pushed so much by the media. Is he a fraud? I mean, he's beaten everyone he's beaten. I just think he lies about his age, and he was beating up teenagers when he was like in his 20s. And, I've never seen a man 17, If you go watch some of the junior amateur fights of Itauma, it's like watching Makhmudov v. Sonny Edwards. It's just ridiculous. Yep. Keir Starmer says, Juice heads Vlad. Yeah, 100%. And Vitaly, the PIMP trafficker and mayor of Kyiv, as you got to say. And it's not a chicken Kiev, it's a chicken Kyiv. Australia's far stricter rules, they have no privacy. Yeah, and the UK starts to remove privacy. It's a bit hard in the US to enact age verification laws. Yeah, they push back a bit, and at least they got guns in the US or, certain states. I once put up a spreadsheet. I was thinking, what about moving to the US? England, the UK is gone, right? But obviously, I wouldn't move to any of the big cities. And then I did a spreadsheet. And I put on stuff like, average income, crime rates, stuff like that. And then I put stuff like gun ownership, whether it was easy, ethnicities and stuff like that. And I had a whole big spreadsheet. And I made a graphic out of it about which was the best state to move in. I can't remember what it was, Idaho or Montana in the end. Remember the bus driver knocking out David Hay and ran one of the amateurs? Yeah, from Coventry. Can someone remember? I've got to have a look because I remember his name. He turned pro. He had two fights, I think. He won one on points and lost one. That was what's his name, man? I've got to have his name because I want to big him up because that was such a big upset because he was, Hay was obviously pushed. He just absolutely battered, what's that name? Courtney Fry, didn't he? He battered Courtney Fry in a big I can't remember what I was there or not. It sounds weird, but it's so long ago. So who knocked him out in a round? It was Daniel Solis stopped him in 3. It's not. It doesn't look like it's on box rack. Okay, I'm not going to give up, man. Who KO? Well, no, a prize for someone who can remember this guy's name. What's your favorite boxing film of all time? Says Tom Diddy. I mean, do you know this is going to sound weird? One of my favorites is Rocky 5. Rocky 5. The only problem with Rocky 5 is that there's that stupid sideline where Sage Stallone, Rocky's son, gets bullied and has to act all tough, and it's really annoying. And Rocky takes on Tommy as his son. It's cringe. He basically just Stallone wanted to give his son a role. He gave his son a role over the top. Unfortunately, he died in mysterious circumstances. Sage. Some people say it's a sacrifice, but I actually really like Rocky 5, especially with what happened tomorrow. Tommy Morrison's in it. He doesn't do badly acting in it. But I think the final fight, it was annoying to me. The final fight, I watched it in a rundown cinema, and people were smoking weed everywhere in it and stuff. And I was a youth, I was a kid, I was quite freaked out. But Rocky 5, the street fight was annoying. What they should have done is had a boxing fight. And maybe they should. I don't know. Rocky apparently had a problem with his brain, although he fights later. And then they should have gone back to maybe at least go to the gym. Go to Mickey Goldmill. Is it Goldberg or Goldmill? Mickey Goldberg, Goldmill, something like that. And go back to his gym, and they should have a gloved fight, and all the locals should have watched, because that would have been more exciting. The street fight. I mean, Rocky has to end in a good boxing match. I'm in North Carolina now. Oh, rest of Massachusetts was Rainbow Soviet World Cup. Down there, it's less political and only working cities. On you, the locals are ripping off their firearms. Yeah, man, that sounds cool, bro. The other thing is, what's it called? The Hamptons and all that area. The New Hampshire and stuff. They got all these really rich WASPs, and there's hardly any ethnic people, and they're super woke. Well, of course they are. They got loads of money. They live in a very safe area. And, they never come into contact with street thugs. It was based. Yeah, I bet it was based. My man, I love it when my funds knows something. Oh, I'm coming to you, mister. I know you're here. Shit. Acromegaly. That's what I'm talking about, when you have those little dimples. It especially shows on dark skin. And they change place all the time. That's why you know all that nonsense that Gay Jay says about street. Oh, I got them from street fights. Really? I mean... Oh, and you've never been nicked for a street fight, and yet you got all. I've been loads of street fights. I've got a couple of scars on my hands, but I don't have any weird lumps that change place. Maloney, true Whyte is a cherry pick at this point. He gets no credit for being a shot Whyte. Frank's protecting him. Of course he's protecting him. He's his golden goose. Mine Butler, what's up, Mine Butler? What's up? Oh, I hope Whyte gets eyes peeled on the lack of interest in the Fury fight builder. Also his capitulation in the fight. I just want a good fight. I just want an exciting fight. NGs, do you think Usyk is on HGH, has a big hole in his abs like bodybuilders do? Cliche is definitely on it. Also, do you think Carl Froch is J, and that's why he got a nose job? Apparently, he has got blood from, just blood. Apparently, yeah, he does. I don't know why. That's why he's got his nose job, but it explains the nose situation. I don't think Usyk is on HGH. Nah, man. I know he's got that little. I know what you're saying, but HGH usually gives you also a big. It swells. I think it swells your organs. You get a big belly, even though it's muscular. You get a big belly. Yeah, no, I don't think so. You think Crushers had bottom surgery? Well, Corey taken off probably. Bus driver turned up late and had no warm up. No way. They made him fight during junior bites. Both were seniors, tried setting him up, and I didn't know that. So that's the background to the fight. So they were giving every advantage, and he still got ironed out. Mennonites. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Starmer. Apparently, Amish project make up 25% of the US population, we forced to assimilate. I can't see them making up 25% of the population. They do reproduce a lot. I have like 8 kids, but no, I can't see it. They're too small a community. Will they be forced to assimilate? Yeah, of course. If they're a threat, they will be. At the moment, they're just, they'd love to change them. And that's why, actually, if you look at their programs, there's a Rumspringer. Rumspringer is when the Amish kids, when they get to 18, they're allowed a year off. And they can leave. They their reservation or whatever and go into the world. They call them the English, the English, the non-Amish, right? And there's even a film about it with Harrison Ford, where this woman, Kelly McGillis, I think, strips completely naked, and so they've been they've done these programs, these alleged reality programs on Rumspringa, right? And they encourage these Amish girls and stuff to get up to degenerate stuff. So they're already attacking them. Maloney. Travelers using PDs and the amateurs, yeah, they all lie about it's well known they lie about the age thing, yeah, and they do very well in the juniors. I mean, that doesn't mean everyone. I'm not picking out or having a go at travelers, but it's known. I mean, they ain't got no, a lot of guys, they ain't got no passport or no. I mean, it's different now. I know loads of travelers who've settled now as well, but never good. People get arrested in the UK for what they post online. Never happens in the US, not even in California. Actually, that's a good point. 31 months that Connolly, is it Sarah Connolly got for a little post, which is obviously not serious. Hardly anyone has seen. And then there's other people that, from certain community, foreigners that have raped women and done noncery, who get off, who don't do a single bit of time. And my boy, Shane Mongos. I don't even need G-Unit. What's up? What's up, Shane? We on the champagne and shit. Much love to Shane Bongos. Thank you. I think they've been trying to blame measles outbreak on Mennonites recently, probably trying to make people live off grade seem like nutters with poor health. Of course. And if you notice in the papers, there was a couple of incidents. They picked up that one 23-year-old girl refused traditional treatment on cancer or something like that. And they made it into a huge story. Oh, she's a conspiracy theorist. She was killed. It's her mother's fault. So they frightened normies into thinking. And I told you, the only person I know who's conquered cancer, yeah, did it through diet. She'd been cancer-free for 20 years, and she looks young. She did it through an alkaline diet. And they actually nicked the guy and gave him 5 years who wrote the book. Because they said, what is it, the FDA or something? What's the one that regulates pharmaceuticals in America? They obviously are corrupt, and they made a huge thing. We've got, that he should be put away because he's unlike our medicines, which have been proven by our fake funded so-called research to be safe, like the OxyContin. Yeah, they release, the Glazer family or whatever they're called? Yeah, they release OxyContin saying, all our research shows only 1% of people get addicted. It's completely safe. And then it's as strong as heroin. And so many people, street people getting addicted. I know individuals have got addicted. I've done it. And believe me, I've done brown as well. And believe me, it's very similar. So, Breeding Bull, the Breeding Bull wants to put a Itauma on Nichols. Well, I don't think Nixon's got any skills to speak of. Breeding Bull wants to put Michael Maloney on Maya. Who's Maya? Oh, Michaela Maya. Michael will get Michael Maloney's spirit. But Maya, she's all right for him. I was at Hay fighting bus driver and Courtney Fry fights. Why, bro? Where was the bus driver fight? We have a winner. It's misspelled, but we have a winner. The Breeding Bull. Triple B unit. Jim Twight. That's right. Jim Twight from Coventry KO'd David Gay in the first round. I think it was a right hand, or maybe it was a left. He might be the southpaw. Whatever. It was a backhand. And he clipped Hay. It didn't look like a big punch, and blop, down he went. And then also, what is it? Carl Thompson. Well, he was exhausted with Carl Thompson, but there was some mad African he fought. He was a super middleweight. He came up to light heavyweight. When David Gay turned pro, he was a light heavyweight. And this African, I can't remember his name, who came in with a leopard skin. He was kind of a journeyman, but obviously dangerous. He put Hay all over the shop. So, we all thought Hay was chinny. And then when he moved up to heavyweight, he suddenly developed a really good chin. I wonder why. Oh, have you ever seen Triple B? Big John Fish on YouTube adverts promoting solar panels. Yeah, I've seen them. I'm like, why would you get that disgusting fat pig? What? I mean, is he known outside of boxing? Yeah. Whoops. Sorry, I've gone a bit far. Yep, that's it. Michael Twight, he done Hay. Yeah. Otto Wallin apologised, says Martin Butler, when the Cesaro dropped him. Yeah, you remember he flew across the ring. It was very suspicious. And he's a Southpaw. The white quitter, the Swedish bum. And I've been rinsing him properly. Did you see the video I did on the Swedish guy that left a comment on my Wallin video? And hey guys, Otto Wallin did very well. He beat the cruiserweight, and he almost knocked out the Tyson Fury in the 12th round with a terrifying hook and paralyzed him. I just rinsed him, just saying, look, you're a pussy, your people are weak, pathetic. It's probably Otto's alias account. He was defending Otto too much, but yeah, that was weird, that Chisora knockdown, very weird. Mr. Stammer, do a review on your PD abuse, brother. Otto says you've never failed the test. I've never failed a test. I tried Dynamo once, but never again. It was amazing. But like I said, I went from being fat with skinny arms to being so strong, buzzing. But I had such bad roid rage, I wouldn't go near. Yeah, Manchester Guevara, thank you, man. We got Rocky 5 fan, definitely underrated. Check out Fat City. I'll put it in my thing. I don't know what Fat City is, bro, but it's definitely underrated. You just got to, like, unfortunately, you've got to bite your lip when the stupid Sage Stallone story comes in and just get past it. And the funniest thing about that film is, Tommy Morrison comes out looking. Tommy Gunn, Tommy the Machine Gun comes looking in the bar for Rocky. He goes, where's Rocky? He goes, and Paulie starts talking to him. He knocks out Paulie with a left hook. I think it's a left hook, but a punch anyway. But before he comes in, right, there's these two fat guys, and they hear Tommy Gunn calling out Rocky, and they're just two fat guys, and they come out like this. They go, "Hey Rocco, do you need some help?" And he goes, "No, guys, ain't no pie eating contest." I thought that was quite funny. What are the chances of never going that Crawfish beats Canelo? Probably better than I thought. A year ago, I think, or whatever, when I announced it, I did a video, and I was like, he ain't got no chance. But if you look at Crawford's resume, he's only had 5 fights in 5 years. He's 37. He's moving up a lot in weight, but he's obviously on the PEDs, although he's never failed a test. But, he looks really muscular. What's Canelo now? 33? Crawfish is 37. I still see Canelo winning, probably on points. Because he doesn't take risks, Canelo. He doesn't knock people out anymore. He's happy just to not take punches and to outpoint them, like a lot of big-name fighters, like Gay Wedder, Shane Mosley, Bernard Hopkins, Oscar De La Homo. Canelo, they all ruined big-time pro boxing. The good things about the heavyweights, though, is that, one big shot, and that's it. One big shot, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And it's very hard. If you're going to try and outpoint someone in the heavyweights, well, I suppose Otto Wallin does it, but then he's been licked up. Stallone in great shape, 78. Maybe Pete Dijon, bad after all, fit daughters too. Yeah, he's got 3 daughters, and his son died. He is in great shape, but he's been busted for PDs loads of times. He went into Australia with loads of HGH. He's also got the problems with the hands. You can't see the little what's it called? Agromelee, or whatever it was. Someone said it earlier. You can't really see it on the white skin so much, but his hands are really weird shapes and crooked because they deform your bone structure. PDs are not bad, obviously, especially taken in small amounts. They will give you Anavar, right, which is also used by bodybuilders, Anavar to build up your muscles if you become frail or you've had an operation or you haven't been able to exercise because you've been in bed all the time, to build up your muscle. And they'll give steroids to cancer patients, but they give low doses, right? So, and what do you think all the athletes are doing? They're all doing it. The problem is when you do too much and you have liver problems, heart problems. But yeah, if you do it reasonably, they're actually good for you and they'll keep you young. Michael goes, half people on the local gym is on PEDs. It wouldn't surprise me these days, man. I remember when creatine came out. But yeah, it's so easy. UK needs to reinstate the death penalty. I don't believe in the death penalty just because I believe people deserve it, but there's always the possibility of killing somebody who hasn't done anything wrong. But anyway, Kia, it's up to you, bro. See if you got the balls to do it. Yeah, never getting thoughts on Epstein case. Oh yeah, Strange case gone public on the PDD case. The elites aren't hiding it. I don't know their motives. Well, it's theatre. They'll only release some of it. See, they like the Epstein thing. Well, quite frankly, so Epstein got nicked and allegedly killed himself, allegedly, and Ghislaine Maxwell got nicked for human trafficking. Yet they haven't nicked anyone who they've trafficked to. So if you've got proof that they were involved in human trafficking, you must have proof that they trafficked to certain people. And so why has nothing happened? Because all the people they were trafficking to were super famous, and that might well include Trump. What are your thoughts on Finland? I don't know. Finland gets dissed on the basket weaving forum quite a lot. They don't have many fighters, do they? They've got Hellenius. It was a disappointment to me. I thought he was going to do quite well, but he actually failed a PT test, even though he didn't look like he was on PDs. Wilder ironed him out. He's actually, I think, half Swedish though, or partly Swedish. I think his name Hellenius. Is it a Swedish? I think it might be. I don't know, but I believe he's half Swedish. I don't know anything about Finland. I've not even rumped up a Finnish girl. I've rumped up women from most of the Western world, but no, never Finland, man. Never Finland. True medicines. I was off an opiate for epilepsy. I turned it down. It's stronger than heroin. Yeah, man. I know loads of people. Americans got addicted to OxyContin and Vicodin. And they were giving it after a minor operation. Oh, this will help you. And you know what? It's a private system, and the pharmaceutical companies they used to actually give them cash. They used to give them cash if they wrote loads of prescriptions for their drugs. But that was made illegal, I think. But now they give them stuff like holidays and other incentives. Stop insulting Epstein. His cause of death was anti-septicism, let's say. You antiseptics need to behave yourself. We'll get Jay fight Jake Paul and Fury in 2026. Nah, I can't see the Jake Paul fight happening. It might happen in 2030 or something. Fury, no. I've always said I just don't see Fury and Jay ever fighting because they don't want to see because Fury's been bought now, and he's had to be because he's been threatened up and bought. That's how they get you. They threaten you up and they buy you. How do they threaten you? When they take away your money and your ability to fight, your failed tests. They'll mention stuff about your family. And then they'll also offer you loads of money. And I'm to Fury. So, but Fury still has quite a base background. And you can still find his video when he calls out all the institutions. And Gay Jay is like the clergy plan guy. So and they don't want to see Fury wax Gay Jay. I reckon Fury fights that stiff Otto Wallingers. Nah, surely no one would want to watch that. Swedes had a choice to stop it, and they let it happen, apparently, because they're weak, pathetic cucks. I mean, like I said, I went out with loads of Swedish girls. They were all the most boring, pathetic, predictable. None of them had a single good opinion or a single good story to tell. They're real pretty. Like I said, they're like a beautiful Ming Dynasty vase, China vase. They look beautiful on the outside. Inside, there's nothing. They're the most pathetic people in the world. Like I said, well, in the big house, I met an Algerian. He was laughing, going, yeah, man. We used to go over to like Sweden to see my cousin. And we go to the club, and there's all these Swedish girls, and they'd be with their boyfriends. We just walk straight up to them and start pulling them by their hands and getting them to dance with us and trying to kiss them. And their boyfriends would sit there doing absolutely nothing with a stupid grin on their stupid face. Lay Taylor, here's a simple tip for anyone visiting the US to avoid the rainbow coming. Stay away from any areas with sector reform J demographics. A good tip, good tip. Tony Maloney, do you think Turkey's growing bored of taking dumps on her and Warren? Yeah, of course he has. He's already filmed it. He wants to take dumps on new people, especially athletes. There's nothing more fun between Turkey showing his friends how he's taking a dump on, the world's baddest athlete, or, on Francis Ngannou or Gay J. Yep, Tony Morrison was quality as Tommy Gunn. Yeah, I might even watch Rocky V because I get nostalgic about it. It reminds me when I was young and I sat in this mad dive of a cinema where people were smoking puff. It was abroad, and see the young Tommy Gunn, Tony Morrison. The problem was Bill Caton. Oy vey, Bill Caton. He used to say the problem with Tommy Morrison is he trains really hard for 2 hours every day and then parties for 20 hours. And that was his problem. Before he got knocked out by Michael Benn, he was up till 6 a.m. rumping some bird up after being to a concert and getting smashed on beer. Morrison had a tough life, though. His dad was a wrong-un. His mum, I think she got arrested for murder. Can someone tell me about that? I think she got arrested for murder. Murdered him. As Michael says, I totally agree. Sage Stallone nearly ruined Rocky V. Very feminine acting. And it was a boring storyline. Funnily enough, that one of the bullies in that, they end up friends, don't they? Oh, it was pathetic, that storyline. And it's a third of the film, and it's so annoying, you know? And that's what ruined the film. If they just kept him out of it, or kept him as a very little sideline, it would have been okay. But no. And one of the guys, the actors that bullies him, ended up being a big actor. He was in that. What's that thing with Mark Wahlberg directed, and he was in it, and it was about 4 guys who were friends, and it had Turtle in it, and one of the guys was a good-looking guy, no homo, and he was the main actor, and the pizza boy became his manager, and what's that guy, Ari or whatever, who looked after the actor's career, Ari. We used to call him Pizza Boy. Pizza Boy was one of the bullies in Rocky V. What do you know about that, homeboy? Stallone acted in a blue movie. Yeah, he did. No, well remembered. Yeah, but it was a very lightweight. It's soft core, man. I thought Morrison was excellent Rocky V. I loved it when he gave Sage Stallone. I mean, he wasn't bad for a guy who'd never acted. He also did. He acted in a couple of shows as well, a series. It was real popular in the 80s or 90s. I can't remember. I think it must be in the 90s, surely. And there's this woman. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. The show was named after some woman. And you know what? As I said, I don't like to just say things without knowing them. Because someone can tell me. But I'll look on Tommy Morrison's IMDb and tell you. And he's portrayed as, and this posh woman starts to get rumped up by Tommy the Duke Morrison in the show, not in real life. And it's called Sybil. Yeah. Anyway, so Sybil, I think it was Sybil, goes out with this, and they portrayed him as really stupid. Creatine, what does it do for you? Well, it's amino acid that's available in meats and stuff. It encourages muscle growth, I think, and also encourages your body recovery of muscle. That's basically, it's very bloated, not for me. It is very bloated. It encourages the muscles to be filled with water, so you get a bloated look. Okay, death penalty of certain. They've done it. I've seen Otto with stand up to racism sign. Well, that's no surprise. Oh, the other thing about Tommy the Duke Morrison, right? You know, there's a guy called Joe Rogan. So he's got a show in it. You know, he's quite popular. He's apparently red pill, but maybe bored. But he was talking about Tommy Morrison. It's quite a good video. I mean, quite a good show. And he was going, man, he was just crazy. He was a good-looking guy. He could fight, but he loved to party. And there'd be women. I think he misused the word literally, sitting there throwing their pum-pums with slingshots at Tommy. Yeah, and Tommy also banged, I'll show you the picture, right? Pamela Anderson. Now, if you remember Pamela Anderson in the 80s and 90s, she was considered extremely hot. Now she's obviously a bit older. But yeah, check it out, man. Here's a picture. And yeah, okay. What does that tell you? What does that say? Look at the look in Pamela Anderson's face. You know she's just been smashed by the Duke, and you know the Duke's done a good job. Look at the Duke's face. It's exhaustion. Yeah, he's happy because he smashed Pamela Anderson, but it's exhaustion. Why is it exhaustion? Well, because, you know, he spent all night smashing the kitchen out of Pamela Anderson. Yeah, what up, my boys? Strangeness. Yo, I wish Mahmoudov Neanderthal DNA video. Yeah, they're a couple of inches shorter, way heavier and more muscular. That's correct, they are. They were bigger overall, faster, tougher than Homo sapiens. Yeah, but they were shorter, right? But Homo sapiens dominate them. It might have been numbers. It might have been a numbers game because Neanderthals were intelligent, very intelligent as well. And they're interbred. Like I said, every race except sub-Saharan Africans have Neanderthal DNA, and some have more than others, especially in around the Caucasus area. Oops. That's right. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, I've got some knowledgeable funds. That's what I said. Creatine puts water in your muscles, and it helps it recover, but it gives you bloated. Easy double Q. Hunter Biden said in an interview that Epstein obviously didn't kill himself. He's definitely in Isa right now, drinking on the beach. Hunter Biden said that. That's bizarre, considering what a wrong'un he is and a nonce. Okay, there was this video that was released, probably not available anymore because, you know, they know how to censor the internet. And someone flew a drone over the island. What was this island called? Little David or Little James or something. They flew a drone over the island, right? And there's this truck, and there's this man leaning by the truck talking on the phone who looks identical to Epstein, who basically is. So, yeah, I believe he's still alive. And he's been hidden. And other people say that the body that they dragged out had a completely different nose and a completely different ears. And apparently ears are like unique, right, to Epstein. And they did a graphic of it and everything. And also Epstein's bank accounts were known to still be active and still be used after his death. ST, what up, Mo? Big up, trouble. Yeah, thank you, my brother. They believed they were outcompeted due to not having as large social groups. This is Neanderthals. And they were extremely aggressive, needed a lot of calories. Yeah. Well, Mahmoudov will take out his Neanderthal aggression on Dave Allen when he knocks him out. One theory is they created the whole Epstein thing to divert people from Pizzagate. Right. Epstein is relentlessly covered in Emerson, but never Pizzagate. Pizzagate is real. And obviously, if you search like it, the first thing you get, Pizzagate is a right-wing conspiracy theory. Now, I looked into it. I did a lot of research. And I can't say much, but I put some posts up on some forums that are now closed, have been closed, with evidence. And some of the stuff I found, I mean, I'm not talking like obviously graphic nonsense, because number one, it's illegal to view it. Number two, I wouldn't want to view it. Number three, I mean, everything wrong with that. But the weird links I found to other social media sites and the words they use, the pictures, I found loads of the groups, the bands that had played at what was the name of the shop? Comet Pizza Ping Pong, right? Comet Pizza Ping Pong, was that it? Had also put really creepy, noncy kind of posts up. Oh yeah, 100% real. Average male Neanderthal is 5'7", but 89 kilos. So that gives you, yeah, like probably like Habib. They look like Habib, big heads, big strong men, but short. Yeah. Do you watch Tyrone Huff's new video? No. Don't even think about it. I don't even think about that guy. I have no interest. We beat them with social skills. Lol. Yeah. Probably. I mean, they obviously had some advantage. I thought numbers was probably the main one. Michael Malone. Finnish girls are friendly. I banged a couple of them at university. Well done, bro. Yeah. I banged the Icelandic girl. Loads of Swedes. A few Danes. Danish, out of all the Norwegian, out of the Scandies, and Finland is not, I think, technically Scandinavia, is it? I'm not even sure about Iceland, but the Danes are probably they got the most character. They're more fun and they're beautiful, but they're still obviously really woked out. I mean, I had a girl, and when I first met her, she would always complain about why do these people act the way they do and blah blah. And then she went to university and she came out completely woke and said how horrible white people are and how white babies are so ugly and how hillbillies are the most stupid people in the world. I was like, you don't have no idea what you're talking about. I said, no idea what you're talking about. I said, what happened to you? How did you become so? How can you say a white baby's ugly? Oh, they look like dough. But she even admitted later to me, I would never lie down with anyone who wasn't white. So, but that shows you the strength of the programming. Yeah, Helenis is Swedish, not Finnish. Yeah, but he lives there, right? Tommy Morrison's against Lewison seemed timid. Tommy Morrison's performance against Lewis, not Lewison, seemed timid. Yeah, I've never watched that full fight. I mean, I just thought it was the wrong fight for Tommy. The problem was all these Americans thought, oh, he's British and he's chinny because McCall knocked him out, and they thought, this is great for Morrison to knock him out. And I just thought the styles are completely wrong. Lennox is too big, his arms are too long. Tommy will not get to land that hook. What they should have put Tommy in was Michael Moorer, because Michael Moorer was chinny and soft. He beat Foreman though and outboxed him. Apparently that's the only pro fight he actually trained for. Bad boy Randall. I thought it was at 8. It was originally at 8, but I was sitting there bored, and there was nothing happening. I'd done all my stuff, my chores, so I changed it to 6. Sorry, bro, but at least you're here, my man. It's great to see you. 4 brothers, says Ian. What are we talking about? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Probably a previous post. Do you know that one? I did not in allegations. Married a 16-year-old alleged had sex with a 12-year-old called Tamika Williams. Look up. Bro, you obviously haven't watched my videos. I've repeated that over and over again. He banged a 12-year-old. Not only that, when he was over 30, a 12-year-old. He's a nonce. And also, he banged a 15-year-old and made her pregnant. When he's in his 30s. Yeah, he's an absolute. I've done a video on it. I'll do a new video on it. He's a wrong 'un. He's a nonce. But of course, people think, oh no, he's a saint. He can't do anything wrong. Oh, there must be lies. That's how normally it's justified. Oh, it says lies. There's no real proof. He was a human rights activist. Ali was a saint. Ali was a wrong 'un. And not to mention what he did to Frazier. Frazier helped him get his boxing license back and campaigned for Ali. And what did Ali do? Humiliate him and it made Frazier's kids get bullied. Darts on TV should be on iPad. I love darts. I don't follow it. I don't know who darts players are, but I had a couple of bets on last time. And I watched the darts and I was like, oh, this is a base game. It's exciting. You know, the crowd have fun. You know, I used to love Bullseye. That was my favorite ever TV show, Bullseye. Yeah. Have you even got an original bully? A Bendy Bullet. I used to watch it. You know, I'm nostalgic about it because I used to watch it. You know, at my grand's house and that, and like, you know, it just reminds me of being a kid and being innocent, and you know. But yeah, the darts is pretty fun, man. And Bullseye, it can't be repeated because they tried it anyway. They tried to re-release it, and they also had some idiot. He was a model, but then he became a presenter, and then it's no good. It was good because of Jim Bowen, you know, and also Tony. Tony just said, "I'll settle down, make yourself comfortable when you're ready." But it was, yeah, it's good. There's this great little clip of when Jim Bowen asked him, "So, how you been going?" I can't do his accent. I can't remember what it was. You know, how you been going to Slimmers? What's that slim company? But you know, the slimming company. And he goes, yeah. He goes, have you asked for your money back or something like that? One with Fat Stage Stallone's before he passed, he co-produced a DVD master of Cannibal Holocaust. He looked very troubled. Jet Travolta comes to mind. So many of these famous people have kids dying. I don't know a single person, not including things like miscarriages. I know a lot. Well, I used to know a lot of people that lost a child. None. But you have all these actors, Stallone, Mike Tyson, and also sports stars, Mike Tyson, you know, Travolta. So many. I can't remember, you know, their kids just die. It's bizarre. Hasn't also William got a black girl? Of course he has, man. You need to watch my videos. What is up with you, Eddie boy? You don't watch the videos. Go and watch my back. No, I've been rinsing this idiot for ages. There's a recent video. He got a new oil well. It was real ghetto. He had one that worked at JP Morgan, who was a DEI director. You can't make this shit up. The redhead in Rocky 5 was hot. Apparently Morrison banged her. I didn't think she was hot, actually. You know, I actually thought she had Buffon. I thought, you know, the Don King character, he was pretty cool, man. What was his name? Washington something Washington. He acted really well in that film, and he was obviously taking off Don King, and he brings these hoes to Tommy Gunn, and I was thinking, come on, man, surely you can bring some better pom pom for Tommy Gunn. I didn't think she was hot, but you know, redheads kind of interest me. Joe Rogan's bought 100%. He does handsome. Yeah, he's bought. I agree. And this is how they play the game, because they get these guys that are bought and they give them, you know, they allow them to say some truths. So they pull us in. They pull the sort of not the red pill people, but the people that are a bit suspicious in. They pull them in and make them think they're real, like like Trump. At least BLM shut down and gives Otto time for his free Palestine and refugees welcome. Yeah, he lives in America now full time. It's so funny. Almost every big time boxer moves to America and stays there. How do they get residency? Just because and even Ike Ibeabuchi, who went to prison for 20 years for molestation, a kidnap, all these other beatings and all this stuff, is still allowed to stay in America. Why is he allowed to stay in America? It's nuts, isn't it? Neanderthal man hunted in 2 to 3, they reckon. Right. We were in groups of 5 to 7. Right? So Homo sapiens numbers, basically, yeah. Strangeness. Maybe they were able to trick them, make them believe they're not a threat and poison them when they're sleeping. Sounds like something Homo sapiens would do. Yeah, there's a certain community that actually have a lot of Neanderthal blood, and they're from the Khazar area. So look into that. A lot of these are hidden behind the ice wall in Arctic. I've heard of that theory. I don't know what to think of it. I don't discount it, but I want to see more. But it's amazing, isn't it? The North Pole is really small. You're allowed to go there, but you can't go to Antarctica, which is absolutely massive. And I've got 2 questions. Why, if the Earth is just a globe going around like that, why is it freezing at the top? And at the bottom, you've got countries like Australia, yeah, and New Zealand that are really near the bottom, but they're not cold at all. They're really warm countries. But surely, do you see what I mean? There's something weird happening there. And Antarctica is massive, and it's divided up. And there's all these weird relics, and they planted these pyramids there. Even Buzz Aldrin, who's a wrong'un, said it's evil there. Right, someone's giving me some love. My boy Shane Mongo Skim. Thank you, boy Shane. I hope you're enjoying the show, man. I hope you're enjoying the show. Thank you for the love. Thank you for everyone who's given love. Okay, let's get back to it. What's Pizzagate? I'm uneducated. Well, oops. Let's get back. ST, what's Pizzagate? In short, they found this club, this bar called Comet Pizza Ping Pong. And there's loads of very, very suggestive and weird and very odd, nonsense stuff there. The guy that ran it is called, well, guess what? He is a Red Shield. If you know, you know. And he was considered in the top 50 of most powerful people in Washington, even though he owned just a pizza shop. And Hillary Clinton went there, and there's loads of really creepy his Instagram. Oh, it's a big story, man. And James Alefantis, right? Yeah. And he had a teacher saying "J'aime les enfants," which is in French it means "I like children," and it's a play on his words. It's a play on his name. Sorry, James Alefantis. If you use those letters, I think you can make "J'aime les enfants" or something like that. And that's not his real name, obviously. His name is probably Greenblatt. Never seen Mahmoud throw a jab. He swings like a yeti. Yeah, but it'll be enough. I mean, Dave Allen isn't much of a joke. Pizzagate and Epstein is similar. Epstein's real, Pizzagate is around. Yes, man. ST, never going to, yeah, elite team between politicians. Right, that was the main thing. Between politicians, someone hacked into these emails of Clinton and a bunch of other really powerful people, and he used all these really cryptic references to human trafficking, child abuse, you'll have to look into it, bro, but don't look at Wikipedia, but whatever you do. That's right. Celebrities order children, referring to them as pizza orders, and hot dogs equals young boys. Yeah, they always use codes. Pizza, cheese pizza equals CP, which is child. Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, they speak in code, and apparently Obama spent $60,000. Dollars on a hot dog party, on hot dogs for a party, and that was in there. And there's other guys saying, what's it? Podesta brothers, right? Who worked for Clinton, said, we found a pizza-related map with some stains on it. Do you still want it? And all these is sickening. I thought pasta meant young boy. There's a few of them. I can't remember all. I'm not a nonce. I don't know what they all refer to. But pizza, cheese pizza, I think refers to a child. I don't know about pasta, but there's other ones that apparently walnuts refers to brown children. I don't know. I can't remember. It's so long ago, and it's not something I want to familiarize myself with. Morrison's tall, good looking, bit of a bad boy muscles. Before we get any woman, how can we blame him? We'd all do the same. Yeah, man. And he had a rough life, man. He was banging out. As I said, his mum killed someone. His dad was a wrong'un. His brother Tim Morrison, who I believe George Foreman boxed, was a journeyman, ended up raping someone. And Tommy Morrison was fighting grown men at 13. There's videos on it. It's nuts, man. Look it up, but don't look at mainstream stuff, because if you look at BBC, Wikipedia, it will say, it's the first thing they say it's a conspiracy theory that Hillary Clinton was running a child trafficking ring out of a pizza shop. Well, that isn't at all what it's about. That's just such nonsense. Michael Maloney in the house. Michael Moore lost all his money. Apparently boxers in the USA have to pay taxes for trainer, manager, promoter. No, makes no sense. But he's not the first boxer, unfortunately, to be broke. Mora was absolutely devastating as a light heavyweight. Devastating. If all the world's most beautiful women threw themselves at you, anyone would fall. I mean, their temptation, pum-pum, breastises and ass. You know, if you're a normal man, so i.e. you're not like Gay J, you see that kind of things. I remember when I was young, man, you know, I remember when I first saw, I was 9, and I saw a picture of a woman's breastises, and my eyes almost fell out of my head. You know, I wasn't pubescent yet, and I was just like, I couldn't believe how beautiful it was. I couldn't believe how beautiful it was. Michael Jackson is bought. Well, was bought. He didn't like the chosen people, right? But he's also bought and used propaganda. Yeah, he wore a thong on stage in front of teenage fans. Yeah, and he used to grab his crotch and all that stuff. However, I think he was also abused. Someone said he was actually probably chemically castrated. That's why he couldn't have kids. That's why he had a little boy's body. That's why he had a high voice. Right? Because his kids are like white and nothing to do with him. Yeah. Also, he was, you know, he was in that game from the age of 5, and he didn't have a chance. So he's also one in part of the overlord. Say it ain't so, man. Nah, he's too weak. But he follows it. He's just an idiot cuck Swede. You've got to wear the mask to protect the old people. Get the jibber jabber. To me, it seems. I did a video on it. To me, it seems stupid not to get the jibber jabber. I know it's a personal choice. I will never take my foot off Otto Wallin's neck because he encouraged people, yeah, naive people and kids, to poison themselves. I assume you know about Customoto and Nancy Mike Tyson. Yes, I've done a video of it. They always put it in poll. Usually when there's a box poll, yeah, sorry, not poll, on box. On the weaving forum, and someone will always put. This is just a reminder: the Customato was a nonce, including noncing up a 13-year-old Mike Tyson in his faraway retreat or something like that. It's like a it's not a meme, but it's copy pasta. It's copy pasta. They put again and again. Yeah. I've done a video on it, bro. Blood, Mr. N word. you need to look at my old videos, bro. But it's great to have you on here. You obviously know a lot, but yeah. Where are we at? Joe Rogan's also liberal. Yeah, he's bored. He supports Bernie's son. I mean, he's only said to right because he questioned the jibber jabber. Yeah, I mean, they're all bored. You don't get to that position to make that much money unless you're bored. Man, this conspiracy I saw was inverted Earth. That we're actually inside the Earth, like it's inside out. The sky's center of the Earth says strangeness. I've never heard that theory. I mean, there are some strange ones. Some of them I don't care about. I'm just like thinking, you know, a flat Earth is one. I haven't looked into it really deeply, so I haven't actually got an opinion on it. It's a big one to pull off, and the question is why. Why would that be important? Well, to discredit creation by a creator, by God. That's what they say. But that's a big one to pull off. But also it doesn't interest me. So what I want to know is what they're doing now and how they're trying to manipulate us now. You know, knowing that the Earth is flat or round ain't going to make no difference to what's going on the Earth, which is manipulation, child trafficking, human trafficking, yeah, wars for money and power. Mora was a good boxer. Chinny though, yeah, undersized and heavy. Seeing how Bert Cooper was getting to Mora, yeah, I said that Morrison had a humongous punch shot. Oh, thank you. Oh, exactly. I was just thinking he was a southpaw, wasn't he, Mora? But he was the perfect, usually the right hands, the money shot against southpaw, right? But Tommy was a left hooker, but Tommy still had a decent right hand, and because of his chin, it would have been an exciting fight too. Mora was a massive puncher light heavyweight. He didn't quite bring it up. He didn't quite bring it up to heavyweight. He didn't even bother with cruiserweight, and certainly not bridgerweight because it didn't exist. But definitely Morrison had a big chance. I cannot believe that his managers went for Lennox Lewis. It's only because they were ill-educated, and they did the usual. Oh, he's a British guy. British heavyweights are bombs. I mean, even the fact that like Lennox is about, Lennox is about as British as I don't know, Terry Chapman, David. I don't know, man. Lennox. Oh, he was born there. Oh, therefore he's British. Yeah, what? I mean, imagine being that simplistic. Where you're born decides who you are. What a lot of nonsense. For example, if you're born in Spain or I know Squaddy's kids that have been born in Germany, Cyprus, places like what? Are they Cypriots and Germans? No, of course they're not. It's just another false. Another false agenda. They push it to try and mass multiculturalism. That's why the guy that killed all those kids was apparently a Welsh guy, and all these libtards, instead of feeling about these poor little children that were murdered brutally and these adults that were stabbed, instead of caring about that, they were actually laughing. He's not a refugee. You right wingers are so thick. He's Welsh. He's 100% Welsh. What a load of nonsense. Yeah, I kind of answered that. I'm not sure. I think there were receipts of politicians' face people spending tens of thousands of dollars getting pizza hot dogs delivered to different places in the country. It's supposed to be just some random pizza. Yeah, I said that earlier. Obama said, and if you read the emails, they are so bizarre. And also it involves Madeleine McCann, right? And the sketches of the people that allegedly abducted McCann looked identical to the Podesta brothers. There's also another person who was seen around who looks identical to Maxwell. Also, McCann's parents, right? McCann, the father, is now I think he was the Queen's doctor, that looks up the pum-pum, gynecologist, right? And other stuff. And they ended up having dinner with, was it Sigmund Freud or some kind of Freud? He was a known nonce, and after he died, he was revealed as a nonce. It's very disgusting, man. Yep, exactly. That's how they cover it up. Weird how all these countries are at war. You can't agree on anything. They're all united on keeping Antarctica closed off. Yeah, amazing, isn't it? What's even more amazing is, now, isn't it weird the way that Saudi Arabia, which is maybe the strictest Muslim country in the world, is allied with ISA and the United States? The United States, well, it used to be a Christian country. I mean, it's not really. It's a secret society country. ISA, obviously, is ISA. And Saudi is going to be a strict Muslim state. But as I said in my videos, even 2 or 3 years ago, I said, don't worry. They will change Saudi, which is the strictest state. They will slowly bring in degeneracy. And they already allow, women weren't even allowed to leave the house alone or drive. And now they've got women boxing there. And the head of boxing development was a woman for a period, And guess what? Guess where? Go and have a look. You want a red pill? Go and have a look where the House of Saud, where the family, the Saudi royal family, their origins are. I won't tell you because I want you guys to tell me. But believe me, when you see the origins of the House of Saud, everything kind of makes sense a bit. Mora was mean at lightweight due to weight loss. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe he even got down to lightweight. He always looked like, but he was a monster. I mean, he must have been one of the early weight cut bullies. Now it's so typical to weight cut bully, but in those days people didn't really know how to do it. But I think Mora did. He probably walked into the ring about 210 pounds and was knocking people out left, right, and centre, but just couldn't do it long enough. I heard customers occult stuff. You're right. Cusgroom Tyson, you're right. And Floyd Patterson. That stuff is shield and Paul to discredit the real stuff. Right. Yeah. I mean, that's why I don't really pay much attention to it, because it doesn't make any difference to my life and what's happening in the world. What you need to do is bring down the system. You've got to expose Ronins and nonces and your Epsteins and your Diddies, but properly, and all the people that use them. Yeah, the ice wall in Antarctica is highly suspect. Again, I've read a bit about it, but I don't go deep on it because I'm more interested in what's happening politically, financially, with wars, with, that kind of thing. See, I didn't know Castamonte was bad. In boxing magazines and news, it always seemed like he was a good mentor to Mike Tyson. Yeah, but, mate, that's just the game, isn't it? You know, apparently Jimmy Savile was a saint who did a lot for charity. And everyone knew he was a nonce. Even when I was 15, before the internet. Yeah, and Savile's on the TV all the time. As soon as I see him on TV, I'm like, that guy's creepy. But we knew on the streets that he was a nonce. You know? So don't believe that. Don't listen to the mainstream media, blood. That's the first most important. Yeah, Tyson a lot of creeps around him in Catskills. Yeah, Teddy Atlas, the liar, the alleged New York Golden Gloves champions that apparently got it wrong and forgot because when it was proved he wasn't. And he said he's Appalachian Golden Gloves champion, and there was no such thing. He's a liar, scumbag, and he's his father was a lawyer, wasn't he? Yeah, from a certain community. I've heard this. Thank you. Customer died of AIDS and his gay lover Jim Jacobs. That's correct. The handball guy who managed Mike Tyson. There's a clip online of Mike Tyson kissing Jim Jacobs on the lips. Thank you, brother. Thank you for bringing it up. That's right. Jim Jacobs died of allegedly pneumonia, but we all know what that means. Huh? A lot of people, when they have the AIDS, they die of, you know, their system is weakened and they die of things like pneumonia was the typical one. So they would always release saying, oh, he died of pneumonia in his sleep. No, he had the Batman virus. Tyson is a creep. He is. And I don't forgive him for his disgustingness. But he did have a hard life. Ah, Alex Bellotti's in the house. Evening, mate. Yeah, evening, mate. We've had a nice chat. What is it? 2 hours I've been on. It's been a great chat. They were like, boom, 20 minutes. When we go to pub tonight, I'm not going to the pub. I'm pissed off with one of my locals. Also, like, I'm going to eat. I'm going to get my food on. I got a steak that's cooling. Because, you know, if you make a steak properly, you got to take it out and cool it for at least 30 minutes. Well, now it's been like 3 hours, but it doesn't matter. And so that it you know, it becomes warm so that it can be cooked properly rather than be really cold in the middle. And, you know. Do you think Usyk dodged a draft because he lives in Spain that Klitschko said? Well, it's funny, isn't it? It's not just them. It's any Ukrainian sportsman don't seem to be drafted. Oh, they'll draft your poor little man, aged 55, who lives in a very small residence, who's a peasant, and force him to go to war. But no. Not if you're Loma, Usyk, a sportsman, Daniel Lapin, or anything like that, or you're rich. No, Klitschko's, no, nothing will happen. Klitschko's running his brothel whilst being mayor of Kiev. Sorry, Kyiv. Doomsday conspiracy theories, reality is 6 months, yeah. Jim Jacobs looks at Santa Cruz. Well, he's a known batsman. He's a good at handball, apparently. Chuck, what happened to the local to put me off? I was disrespected by a staff member, talked to, you know, because I'm very laid back. I'm chilled. But, you know, the problem is, I was saying earlier, that the problem is, if you're even real polite and nice to everyone, then people get in bad moods and they'll take it out on you because they think, you know, you're soft. And then, boom, once someone starts acting out of order, then they get it. They get it from the Chibboy. They get told. And then they start chitting themselves. And then they start trying to blame it on you. Oh, you're out of order. Why are you talking like that? I didn't say anything. Yes, you did. You did. Yeah? So, I'm not buying at their shops. I ain't buying from their shops if they're going to disrespect the Triple B. Correct. Leave a steak out before cooking. Facts, yeah. I've actually put steaks in air fryers as well. Now, you've got to be careful because it's very easy to overcook. But what it does is it renders the fat, if you've got fat on the steak, really, really crispy and tasty. It's beautiful. But it's very easy to overcook the steak. And so I like mine medium rare. Yeah. So what I'm going to do tonight, I've got a nice sirloin steak. I got it for half price because it was going out of date. But and it's got a big bit of fat on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pan cook. Oh, actually, oven cook's a really good one as well. Or you sear. Okay, perfect steak for me was this. Sear the steak, really hot, and put it in the oven. Why? Because then it keeps the juices in. And when it comes out, it's super juicy. And it keeps it pinker in the middle. But I'm going to try this new thing. You know I said about the fat? About how tasty it is when you put it in the air fryer because it makes it crispy. So I'm going to cut the fat off. And I'm going to put the fat in the air fryer. And I do sometimes I have absolutely no seasoning, but I do have this beautiful seasoning, so I can't wait, blood. Man, I missed it. I was having a bet. I'll buy you 2 coffees. Oh, thanks, Peter. That's sweet. What are you betting on, brother? What were you betting on, brother? Tell us. I love a bet. I mean, not because I'm addicted to bet. I've never been. I've been hooked by drugs, prescription drugs, drink. Never, and pum pum. Obviously, pum pum. I mean, come on, pum pum. But I never got grabbed by gambling. Never addicted. I used to have spreadsheets. I knew well. I still got a page. I haven't got a spreadsheet, but I've got a page, and I used to have a spreadsheet. Every bet, all the odds, what I put on, which bookies, and win or loss, and then I had know my I sum the column. I know my profit. My profit at the moment is £800 on the year, just under. But I've got a couple of open bets. It's just under, about 790 because I've got like about 5 open bets. So including on Mahmudov to win. And Ergovic by KO. I'm not sure about that one. I think it's only a 10 rounder too. Tyrone, but thank you, Peter. Yeah, tell us what you're betting on, bro. Tyrone was living in 10 at the moment, according to Police Officer Channel. Again, I don't follow any of these low lives anymore. I helped them in many ways, a number of them. I gave someone money. I gave them tips on how to improve their channel. I talked about them. I did videos to back them, and then they turned. So F them. I don't care about these low lives, these slugs. I don't care. Tyrone Wolf, I told him, come to the light, man. Change your life. I mean, his life is not going to end well. No one likes. Always be suspicious of someone who has no friends. How many friends has Tyrone Wolf got? 0. Do you remember when he said, I think he said it, actually came on the channel once. He goes, oh, you said I got no friends. I do. You could see in my video, I had a friend round at my house the other night. Oh, so you had one person come up to your house. And that proves you've got friends. You've got 0 friends. You have 0 friends. Always be suspicious of someone, no friends. Makes sense. Now, if Tomato was zesty, for example, he's using Camille Ewell. That's one. As a kitchen serf, yeah, not with it. Yeah, he wasn't. Also, Atlas is very quiet on Tomato. I don't think Atlas was a batsman, but he's a liar. He's a fraud. He's a charlatan. Yeah. His real name is probably Teddy Greenblatt. Do you invest, Shelby? You'll keep the savings in rubbish currencies. I don't keep pounds, really. I told you about how my account was hacked. And I know who it was hacked by. I found out who hacked me. But they're an organization, not an individual. I don't need to tell you from what country because I said certain things. And I know who passed the information on. So if you're watching, I know it was you. Okay? You know what I'm talking about. The person that did it comes on the channel a lot. I haven't exposed you yet. But I know it's you. Loads of rude bastards working in pubs. Yeah, quick to call the police and ask you. Yeah. They act all out of order, and then they turn, blame it on you, and call the police. The British serving system is the worst in the world. And I used to think, oh, it's because we don't tip like in America, and that's why Americans are so nice and friendly and great. Well, that's partially for it in America, but you know, they're also a pain in the ass. I don't want to be harassed all the time. I said, go away, man. I've ordered my food. Go away. I don't need to be asked if it's okay. If it's not okay, I'm going to tell you it's not okay. Yeah? Stop harassing me. I'm talking to my girl right here. I'm trying to chirp up my girl who I'm going to take home and take care of some serious business with. And I'm chirping her up. I don't need you annoying me, asking me if I want anything else. So there's an annoying part. But if you go to a bar and place that in America, as the servers and the bartenders, they will make their bar clean. They will talk to you. They will, if you're on your own, they will, and you know, and you tip them. But in England, I don't think it's just that because you know, Spanish and Italian waiters are really friendly. They're lazy, and they're slow, but they're really friendly and nice and great fun. You know, and it's not because of the tips; it's their culture. And in England, the serving industry is terrible. They are rude, you know, and if you complain, they just ban you or threaten you with the police. You know, F them, and their whack little jobs. F them and their whack little jobs. Scratching a living. Actually, you know, that's not nice, because I do actually know some bartenders who are absolutely lovely people and help you. So, you know, when you generalize about things, you always fall into, you know, a bit of a trap. Because I'm not saying all, but there is a culture in some bartenders and waiters of rudeness in the UK. Whereas, you know, they're also, on the other hand, there are also some super nice people I've met. And it really pleases me, because, and then I have conversations with them and I'll buy them a drink when they're finished and stuff. Not because I'm bribing them, just because I like them. So yeah, there's some very nice people too. So I'm not dissing no bartenders or whatnot, but there are a lot that are complete, you know, rude in England. But there are also some very nice ones. I wonder how Shalom is paying his fighters. BBC don't really pay. I'm sure boxers isn't negative. It must be. I mean, I'm sure you can look on Company's House. You can find out. You have to be. Yeah, it's all online now. So you can find out. I'm sure that they will lose. It's not even on the BBC. They're on the iPlayer. On the iPlayer. So you've got to get on the iPlayer and watch it. All his so-called stars, you know, most of the people have left anyway. The women have left for Jake Paul's fake promotion, MVP. You know, Ben Whittaker will leave. Martin McCauley will leave. Callum Simpson. He's not that good anyway, but he sells a lot of tickets. He'll leave. What's happened to Fran Hennessy, the so-called female Lomachenko? I mean, can you believe that? A serious boxing journalist for Telegraph said she is the female version of Lomachenko. What's happened to that one? Little runt. I always thought she had quite a cute little face, but she had that awful body, you know? Small bra, big pants. You know what I'm talking about. And they're so greedy in the Hennessy family. They eat, loads, you know, with every dinner they got about half a loaf of white buttered bread with their curry and loads of chips with every single dinner. You can see. Oh, it's the Hennessy genetics. No, it's not. You're a bunch of gluttons. Costa's pure evil. The mafia even ran him out of New York City. That is a super point. I love a man, Michael, no Omo, because he's got a lot of knowledge. A lot of knowledge. And that's right. He was run out of New York. That's why he went to Catskills, where he couldn't be touched. But he had links in New York, and they would get fighters out of there, like Rooney, like Matt Tyson. Hi, Peter. Thanks for the buy me a coffees, bro. I haven't looked, but you said you put it in, so I'm trusting you, my brother. What do you think about Owich stopping that bum? And how many do you think that? But what, you mean Adelaide? Do you mean Adelaide? What do you think about Owich stopping that bum? What was that? What do you mean his last fight? Who did he fight last time, Ergovich? Yeah, the punch drunkenness is coming on. Who was his last fight? Ergovich. I'm going to have a look, so no one needs to tell me. Yeah, Ergovich's been disappointment because he was really, really, you know, groomed for stardom. Oh, Daniel Dubois stopped him, and then he won a unanimous decision against Choice. Obviously, he knocked out Mark Demore in a round. I won a lot of money on that. I was like, Demore at 42, looking 52 is going to get banged out. Script, drugs, and records. I mean, what, part of boxing? Yeah, Evan Fields, a.k.a. Evander Holyfield, the biggest juice of all. But he never failed the test, did he, Otto? I would love to get Otto on the channel. Hey, guys, let's make up. He's blocked me from everything. Maybe I'll Joey Gamachi follows the Triple B on Insta, right? Which is very, very interesting because, you know, he used to be Otto Welling's trainer. So, and I've actually messaged him a couple of times and invited him on the channel. He goes, oh, I'm abroad at the moment, but maybe. And now Otto's left. I'm sure he's very hurt. So maybe he can come on the channel and rinse Otto. Hi there, late to the stream. No problem, bro. I was originally going to start it at 8, but I changed to 6 because I did my admin, I did my jobs, and I was like, you know, it's time to get live. But it's 8 now, so. Would you ever do a Misfits boxing match for how much? Oh, what, you mean me fight? I don't think I'm big enough, but yeah, of course I would. How much would I do it for? It depends who I'm fighting. I mean, you know, Jake Paul's too young and he's too big and too PD'd up, you know, to fight. And he's better than people think. Yeah, he's not that, you know, he's not a world-class fighter, but, you know, he's better than people think. He's taking it very seriously. Who would I fight? I mean, it'd have to be a guy who, I mean, who would I fight? I don't know who fights on Misfits. Salt Pappy, he seemed quite good, but he's fat. He's fighting Darren Till. Darren Till's a good boxer. I think Darren Till would beat me because he's too young, and he's not a bad little boxer, Darren Till. You know, so it would have to be like one of the lower level guys. They can pay me like it depends. How much they pay me? Well, firstly, if it depends. Am I getting ticket sales out of this? Am I getting percentage? And who am I fighting? And how many rounds? So I couldn't tell you. I've got some more love from someone very kind. Mr. Matthew Wilson. Hello. Should be on big fun. Just want to know if you ever farted on your hand and smelt it. Just asking for a friend. I genuinely haven't. I mean, that's a very odd question, but I mean, thank you for the £5, Mr. Wilson. But no, never done anything like that, man. Someone else asked me, one of the Maloney's, I think it was Tony, was asking me about, you know, putting my tongue up a girl's batty. I can't indulge those kind of sicknesses. Where am I? Right, I'm trying to get back. So thank you, Matthew Wilson. But yes, the answer is no. Michael Maloney. Time Booth slightly slagged me off in his live a few times. I don't watch his rubbish. He's a prick in my bed. Does he still do it? I mean, I don't know. I don't even bother looking at him or any of his. He was really good for a bit, and he was funny. His videos were good, and he got cocky and arrogant and turned on people, and he got bribed, and all he did do was whack lives. He started to abuse women, and yeah, and he showed and he's a nonce. Did you get hacked by PayPal? No. PayPal banned me once for using them to buy some cryptocurrency. Yeah. Malcolm Lloyd, I was a huge gambler for years, managed to beat it. I'm actually disciplined with it now. Really, well done, bro, because that is a hard thing. You know, my hardest, and like I said, I've never been a gambling addict. I gamble to win money. To me, it's an investment, like buying stocks and shares. I mean, obviously, you know, 800 quid ain't a lot of money, but it's paid for my gas, pay for my gas, my water, my electricity for a year. And I have fun out of it because it's intellectual. Real gamblers use their nut. You know, it's like a battle because the odds are against you from the start. You never get evens and evens. You get 5 to 6 and 5 to 6. So there's a margin there. And that margin is the profit margin for the bookies. It's a license for printing money. But well done, brother. Did you do anything or just did you do it all yourself in the head? You know, so well done, bro. And yeah, the most like you know, when I had money, you know, I still used to bet, and I've only had one losing year because I started to just do it for fun and bet when drunk. And those are both two reasons not to take a bet. If you're drunk, right, and if you're just doing it for fun, don't. You got to use your nut. You got to use your nut. So that was my only loss, and that was £2,000. I've probably taken about. In my life, I reckon I've taken the bookies for 70 grand profit, but that's over a long period of time. My biggest year, I think I won 15 or 16 grand profit. And as I said, I keep tabs on all this. I got. You know, all these addicted gamblers just remember their big wins. I always ask them, "Do you know your profit and loss for there?" No, but the other day I won £3,000 on this hacker and blah 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 blah. They lie to themselves. That's the worst. People that are so weak, they lie to themselves. How tall is Moses Itauma? Says Railway. He's listed between 6'2", 6'6". He's definitely not 6'6". 6'2.5" in my opinion. Sonny Ollie got hacked by Emperor Michael. I don't think that moron, that low IQ moron, could hack anyone. Americans expect to tip. It's required. Yeah, it's really the best thing is obviously Mr. Pink. Now, if you've seen Mr. Pink and Reservoir Dogs, I completely agree with him. But you know, if you don't leave a tip or you leave a small tip, they will run after you. The waitresses and waiters go, "Excuse me, was there a problem with the service?" And I'll be like, "No." But you know, I do it because it's their culture. You know, if you're in another person's country, you tend to follow their culture if you have any respect. But it's people like Germans that just don't tip. Yeah, and certain people that like to go to Popeyes, certain communities, they never tip. They never tip. They're well known for it. ST, will any country ever try and do what Libya did again and try and ditch the dollar and go for gold standing again? Nah, because they see what happened. I mean, and other stuff, you know, the Tanzanian guy, the president, who wanted to prove that the COVID was all a scam. Yeah, what did he do? He sent off a swipe of a mango and a goat, and both came out positive with COVID. And so he announced it's a load of nonsense. And he died in mysterious circumstances. So no, it won't, because it's too dangerous. The whole system has to be brought down. And for the whole system to be brought down, enough people need to be red-pilled. Apparently Jake Paul has found out why the Hearns have blackmailed gay Jake Paul will knock him out. I don't know about this, man. Tell me more. Plus, I think Wetherspoons always has idiots working for them. Yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it? I've been going to Spoons a bit, because it's like after the gym, I think, I'm allowed a couple of beers. $1.99 for a Bud Light. It's not that strong. It's only $1.99. People go, oh, it's a girls' thing. Yeah, whatever, man. I'm going to go with a rat's ass. It's not a girls'. I mean, what a stupid thing to say, but whatever. I don't care, man. Well, I mean, what's a man's drink? Carlsberg Special Brew? That's a man's drink. That's a man's drink. But like $1.99 for a Bud Light, and it's very refreshing. It's low calorie. But yeah, they've always got these idiots, these utter morons, standing there. You're waiting at the bar. There might be you and another guy at the bar. It's not busy, and there's 4 idiots just standing there talking to each other. They're quite often ugly with terrible tattoos. Never good. Have you heard of Nick Fuentes? Yeah, I think you asked me that before. A young political commentator question is he's an influencer in America. Yes. But he's been bought by the feds and he's a degenerate. Yes, I do know exactly who you do, and I agree with everything you said. Belotti. Best pubs in England, East London, my experience. People don't know how to converse or socialise nowadays, social media. Yeah, I was like in Nando's the other day, yeah. Having my favourite dinner, which is chicken thighs with extra hot. And it's with broccoli and coleslaw. It's just beautiful. I know Nando. I used to look down my nose at Nando's, but not now, bro. Believe that. And there was his family, a wife or whatever, partner, and a husband or partner, and 2 little kids, sweet little kids that didn't have phones. They were like 6 or 7, and the parents were like that. Throughout the entire dinner, not talking to each other, not talking to the poor kiddos, yeah, who they're taking out, assume for a treat at Nando's. They can't even bother to talk to their own kids. They're just scrolling on TikTok. It's embarrassing. Shalom has no business boxing his clothes. Of course he has no business in boxing. He was given the position by Jonathan Licht because he was going to push diversity. He had no experience in boxing. He had never run a profitable company. He did a few student gigs. He's a bum. Daniel Kinahan and Matthew McDonald pay Ben Shalom fighters with all their sponsors. Wow, how Jack prize guide. Yeah, but possibly. I don't know what's going on there. What you mean on the side? I mean, the problem is if you're on BBC, there are certain rules about advertising and promotion. What's been started, in my opinion, generally nice, friendly, but not very good. Yeah, they're incompetent. The amount of times I've asked for a certain beer and even pointed at which pub it is, and they start pouring a different one. Yeah, I mean, they're incompetent, but mostly that, they seem socially inept. They're probably not paid very much, and without further ado, retro now. Yes, Maloney's last night's performance was impressive. I assume you're talking about on a live. Yeah, because I don't watch any of those the people mentioned. I don't see it, but Maloney, man, you're welcome on the channel anytime, bro. You're welcome on this channel anytime, brother. Anytime, brother. Michael Maloney is legendary, bro. He once gave me £100 in one live. Admittedly, my boy Maloney, I'll be done with saying he might have been, tickling a little bit, But yeah, of course I appreciate that. My boy Maloney is Tony Maloney, Michael Maloney. I've got so many good fans. But yeah, you're welcome on the show, bro. I think we've talked. You can email me if you want to come on the show, and we'll do it. And I'll put out a link. Without further ado, big up. That live starts out. Yeah, sorry, man. I started at 6. I was going to start at 8, but I got bored. And someone was rude to me in the pub. Adelaide beats Ergovich. Interesting. How? Mike Tyson fought out of Catskills, New York. Ergovich beat Joyce. That's right. Oh, man, I'm really backward. Retro. Michael says to Retro, I ain't going on that again. Causing me issues at home. Sick of them minutes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, Maloney. Happy wife. Peaceful life is causing problems at home, mate. Anyway, absolutely. Michael knows. Michael's a grown-up. He's intelligent. He can fight. You know, so he knows. Don't bother. And I'm not part of that. I shouldn't even have been pulled into that at all. You're in good form, Chubby. Oh, thank you, bro. Yeah, I do feel better. I'll be going to the gym. About what, 10 days, 2 weeks? But I've been smashing the bag. Yeah, and telling the bubble butts filming me not to film me. Yeah. Good idea. Misfits allows red pill people, and Misfit does it. Yeah. Yeah. Salt Pap is fighting American MMA fighter Tony Ferguson. That's right. I like Tony Ferguson, but he must have CTE. You remember, like, the hidings he's taken in the cage. I think Gaethje is like wobbling around like that. I really like Tony, but you know, it's not good. Oh, Anthony Taylor on Misfits. Yeah, he's not that great, is he? But no, I want to fight someone who's known. Should be with a pig stick. Triple B unit. Am I really behind? I like to try and answer as many questions as I can. Are you doing fights next week? Send me buying Salt is fighting folks. I'm sorry. Yeah, absolutely. I'll comment on it. I'm not buying it, but I will look at it. There are many ways to skin a cat. I don't like that expression. It's a bit cruel. But then cats, I don't like cats. They kill all these poor little animals. You know, all these poor shrews and birds just for fun. Should be. I'll get you a cup of coffees in a week. Oh, thank you, brother. You don't have to, but I'm very grateful. You cracked me up. You cracked the code last night. You talked to Maloney when you were laughing at them and they were just getting so mad. He kept on laughing. Good boy, Maloney. You should fight Ben Knight on Misfit. Who is Ben Knight, man? True gambling is an art. Thank you, Mike. It was not. Well, I would say it's more of a science. It's because you're examining data. You got to look at value. You got to look at what odds have they got wrong, not on what you think will happen. That's where so many people go wrong. Oh, I think they'll win, so I'll bet on them. No, but the odds are not. You know, you bet on value. You bet on value. You bet on value. You bet on value. That's why I win 9-1 on Caballero against Mahmoudov. That's why I win 14-1 on that Polish guy knocking out that bum Babic. That's why I won 8-1 on Babic getting knocked out by Johnny Fisher, etc., etc., etc. Matthew Wilson, thank you very much for the £2 super check. Thank you, brother. Sorry, Matthew Wilson. Did I call you Michael? I meant Matthew with 1 T. Did you watch Tiny to and Camp? No, I don't watch any other channels at all. I watch no channels. There's no point. What are they going to tell me? I know more about boxing than these people. I'm funnier than these people. What? I used to watch Porky quite a lot, but I stopped watching. I still, you know. I don't watch any channel. In fact, I used to watch Porky a lot when he was interesting and when he was exposing Devinder the nonce. How do you still place bets? Normally when you start winning regularly, they really restrict how much you bet. Well, I'm signed up to every bookies. I'm signed up to over 30 bookies. That's why. That's how. And yeah, I've had. And if you start using their promotions too much and winning, they stop you. You can't use their promotions no more. You know, the boosted odds. Because that's another way to win. Because the margin between a bookie, the margin the bookie has is between 15 and 40%, right, on any one bet. So that's why if you got 2 even fighters, it's never evens and evens. It's 5-6 and 5-6, and there's your margin. But they offer you boosted bets. They limit what you can do. But if you use it too much, so anything, I just put it in my calculator. If it comes up above 1.5, then it's above the bookie's margin. I'll take it. And even if it's darts or racing, I don't know. But you do it too much, yeah, they take away your privileges. Also, yeah. So I've been banned from Bet365. I've been banned from a bunch of them. And the other one, once I won $2,000 off an ACCA on boxing and paddy power off £8. And then I could only bet £2 for a bit, but then they gave me back. I still use paddy. Service charges insulting in restaurants. Rather tip if food and service is good. Right, Mr. Pink. This tipping automatically. It's for the birds, man. It's for the birds, man. You know, if if she really puts in the effort, I'll give her something extra. But it's tipping automatically. It's for the birds. And this is Reservoir Dogs. And the guy goes, what? What's something extra? Take you outside and take you out of the bed and give you a blue job. And Chris Penn, who's dead, and by the way, used to box professionally as well. Not out of it, goes, I go above 15% for that. It's a great scene, Mr. Pink. Inversion High Show. Yes, hello, bruv. Good to see you. How are you? How you been, man? So reports that Vegas tourism is way down. I reckon Vegas may collapse at some point. Crazy prices. Saudi taking the big events. Mobile gambling is now amazing. Yeah, and I hope so. It's a sickening place. I've been to it. It gave me the creeps from the beginning. Macho, gavacho. In most states, staff don't make full minimum wage. They make less minimum wage because of traditional tip. Yeah, but it's ridiculous. It's like Mr. Pink says, what, if you expect me to help out for the rent, you know, I'm not going to, you know. I've got 2 words, man. What is it? Learn to type. Learn to type. You know what this is? It's the world's smallest violin playing just for the waitresses. And he's right. Why should the customer pay the wages of the server? They get a tip if they're really good. That's what it should be. Like in Germany, they're more ordered. They don't tip. They don't tip. They think, well, sorry, if you run your business properly and you pay your people properly, yeah. And then what's his name? Mr. Whyte goes, waitressing is the #1 occupation for non-college graduates. You know, it's basically the job that any woman can get and make a living out of, and it's because of their tips. And then Mr. Pink goes, you know, the world's smallest violin. He goes, you know, if you don't make enough money, then why don't you quit? And then Chris Penn turns around and goes, I don't even know a J would have the balls to say that. Well, I do. Yeah, but that's nice, but only £2. Yeah, completely agree, man. Completely agree. Most time beats Dilian. I think so. He'd fight Usyk next because that would be way too soon. I don't think he should fight him. No, I don't think he will. I don't think the Golden Goose. 9-1 on Whyte could be tempting. I couldn't find 9-1. I found 8-1. If you find 9-1, it might be worth a $5. I mean, I wouldn't bet a lot on it. Inverse, John Dolmack's video defending Trump when he came to Epstein and his fans turned against him. I don't know who John Doyle is, unfortunately. Fuentes' a great communicator, very talented. Yeah, but he's controlled. Michael, you've said this on Bucking Vine. I don't rate Itauma when he's open to the left hook. I've never seen him get hit, so it's hard to say. Did you see the US government plans to limit crisis funds for natural disaster states don't support ISA? What a surprise. I mean, why ISA is like a first world country, very rich, they get so much foreign aid. Why is America, and Donald Trump actually gave them even more aid, why are they getting aid from America? Well, we know why, because we know who runs America. They're just right. I've got to say thank you to a couple of guys. My boy, Louie. Oh, Louie. Big up to be sounding strong. I am tonight strong, bro. I was a bit earlier. Yeah, the I've been doing a lot. And I've been enjoying the funds. I can't believe it's almost 2.5 hours. And it feels like 20 minutes. Why? Because I've got the best funds, better than Ricky Hatton's funds. My Matthew Wilson again in the house. Thank you, Matthew, my brother. You should watch Tynes living at BKM. He's living in a tenant in the park and lost his job in Sainsbury's. It's tragic. I mean, Tynes obviously are wrong, but it doesn't mean he can't come to the light and change his ways. And he had a great chance to make good money, but he messed it up. Why? Because he's lazy. He's lazy. He's disorganized. He didn't read the rules properly, right? But, you know, unfortunately, he's lost any of my support by turning on me, by being a nonce, by degrading women. I mean, his family don't even talk to him. He's a wrong un. But he's got time. He can turn to the light and turn it around. So I hope he does. Tyne, if you're there, I know you like the show. If you're in your tent and you can get Wi-Fi or something, then yeah, listen, man, come to the light and change yourself around. You had a chance to make a lot of money and be a big channel, but you messed it up. But, you know, I've been robbed of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds by people I trust. In fact, actually millions. I've lost over £2 million by fraud. What do you know about that, homeboy? So stop feeling sorry for yourself. But yeah, I'm sorry if he's living in a tent, but you know, look, man, he hasn't shown himself to be a nice person, so I can't support him. I've stopped tipping. At the end of the day, you eat out, it's not cheap. Yeah, why tip some miserable student that gets student loans? Yeah, especially if they're not friendly. Like Mr. Pink said, if they're super friendly and nice, yeah, they deserve a tip. I mean, I generally tend to go with the culture. So in America, I will tip, and partially it's because I'm a bit soft, as out of embarrassment, but. You know, the ghetto people, when they go to restaurants, they never tip. They never tip. It's known for it. When you got a new waitress and a table comes in and a bunch of hood rats come in, they always give it to the new waiter or waitress. Why? Because they know they want to see how tough they are, because they know they're going to be a pain in the ass, and they know they ain't getting no tips, bro. And yeah, that's right. Mr. Pink is McDonald's. Yeah, I used to do a job in a service job, Mr. Pink says, and I didn't have a job that they would consider tip worthy. You know, what about McDonald's? They serve you food. They break their balls. They work hard. You don't tip them. Why? Why does society say tip these people, but not these people? It's bullshit. That's what Mr. Pink says. Never goon. To boxing class issue, he has potential, but he's bought off January 6th. Bank account was seized. No way. He realized that his fans, and then he got realized that his fans were arrested. Nick Fuentes allows Ali Alexander, I don't know that it's to groom his fans, and Nick defending Alexander while acknowledging he's a batty man. I think Fuentes is a batty man. His fans dox and harass Victor. I mean, yeah. Anyone who's given a platform and makes money, even if they get the occasionally attacked, you know, that's part of the game. That's part of the theatre. Oh, this person got to be based, like Tommy Robinson. He was based. He started off based. And what he said was very true about the grooming gangs. It's been proven. But no, he's a far-right racist, apparently. But it's not that. He's owned, and he was owned by Israel because it's sold as an asset. He owns a £1.5 million house in Tel Aviv. But he still gets nicked occasionally. But that's part of the theatre. That's part of the game. It's like you get, you know. Firstly, they like to humiliate you, so they can control you. Secondly, it's to create a false reality. Oh, this person has to be based because they got nicked. How is it possible after being snaked by your business partner? Partners, plural. Partners, plural. 2 people ripped me off. Hundreds of thousands. It is difficult, and I fell into some very, very hard times. It affected me mental health. No, but it really. What they did was disgusting, but I will get them back. I have not forgotten. And I've got loads of evidence, and I have a revenge lined up. I also now, right, have a plan and have contacted lawyers. So I briefly watched Town Live. He was bitching about you briefly. He's bitching. Yeah, he's pathetic. He's obsessed with me. He watches me all the time. He even came on a couple of times. He admitted it. He's a wrong'un. Tried to stitch me up. After I helped him numerous times and backed him. What a snake. Come to the light, Ty. What's your opinion on David Adelaide as a person, as a boxer? As a person, he seems very unpleasant. He plays the rude boy, roadman thing. And then actually, he went to business college. He's got a degree. He comes from a wealthy Nigerian family, I believe. Right? As a boxer, any boxer that comes, especially heavyweight, who comes to punch a man out, I back. So I back him as a boxer. Obviously, he got absolutely splattered by Wardley. I won money on that. Michael, I like Michael. Honesty, right? I still tip fit birds with long legs. Can't help myself. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, look, if you got a beautiful, smiley girl with blue eyes and she's really sweet, of course she's getting a tip, man. She don't even have to take me out the back and nosh me off. I'll give her 20%. Stranger, only had a tip twice in my life. Where'd you work, bro? Where have you worked? Best thing about Tyne's channel is a new character. I don't watch them, brother. Sorry, I've said that, man. I'm not even interested in talking about him. I don't want to give him air time. Well, that's it. That's it. Never again. And as it's great power. He gets our box correct. I mean, Shakeva, who isn't a bad boxer, to be frank, but he's got no real power and he's fat without boxing until he got chinned with an illegal shot. Obviously, you love to be a Willie. Yeah, but do you tip, man? I got a notification that Tan had gone live 3 weeks ago. Can you bother to watch? I don't want to talk about Booth or any of these other bottom feeders anymore because I don't want to give them oxygen on my channel after I helped them out. I've helped out a bunch of people with advice, how to do this with money. No, F you, you wrong'uns. What's your favorite Tarantino film? Mine is True Romance. He wrote that, though. He didn't direct it, right? Am I correct in saying that? True Romance is very good. There's some great Drexel. We're going to be Drexel just for a minute. Yeah, Drexel. There's some real good discussions there. What else? The other ones. Oh, the Sicilian scene. I'm going to do a parody of that. I'm going to do a parody of the Drexel scene. With Sicilians, hey Drexel, hey, he must have thought it was White Boy Day. Is it White Boy Day? No, it ain't White Boy Day. Marty, you fucked up again. That's the end of Drexel for now. But yeah, Drexel. Yeah, it is good. It is good. It was one of my favorite films. Now, obviously, I see a bit through it, but yeah. Let me tell you, I read a lot about history. That shit fascinates me. Yeah, I think I have that Chesterfield now. Yeah, you know, I read a lot about history. Have you got a match? No, no, no. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I read about a lot of history. That shit fascinates me. You know, Sicilians. You're Sicilian, right? And Christopher Walken says, "I'm Sicilian." I'm gonna do a skit of this. I've been meaning to do it for ages with Paulie Malignaggi. Yeah, Sicilians. You know, in the old days, Sicilians were like wops from the north. They had blonde hair and blue eyes, and you know. But then the Moors invaded Sicily, and the Moors are beep N-word. Yeah, and they did so much fucking with Sicilian women. They changed the bloodline forever. You are part eggplant. Anyway, David Icke spoke the truth at a very early date, and he was ridiculed. But some people think he's bought. You can always make money. Exactly. I can always remake money as long as I got my health. The most important thing really is health. And that's and here as well. I don't like to talk about me mental health, but you know, when you're really ill mentally and depressed and the world is such a dark place. I'm not in that position now. That's right. Scott directed True Romance. That's right. My favorite Tarantino film, sorry, in answer to your question, Peter, was is Reservoir Dogs by far and away. By far and away. Pulp Fiction was funny, but I saw it as a youth and it seems so quirky and funny, and you know, and the Gimp, bring out the Gimp, but you know, it was just a bit silly when you look back on it. But Reservoir Dogs had super dialogue, a super plot line, you know, and a very low budget, but it was still excellent. Excellent, yeah. Yep, he wrote it. Fergus says, my bad. Don't worry, you're not bad, bro. Thanks for the super check. A lot of shops. 2 hours and 36 minutes I've done. Thank you, but I've enjoyed it. This is like hanging out. It's better than hanging out at the pub. A lot of shops when you're buying stuff now asking me if you want to donate to some probably bogus charity. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's nuts. Poundland, Co-op, all these kind of places. I'm always no. And sometimes I say, what charity is this? And they go, I don't know. I'm like, well, then why should I give it to charity? And they're always big charities, big business charities. And there are websites where you can check to see how much money. Some of these charities are complete frauds. What do you do? Oh, we hold sessions for people and stuff. We help people. No, but what do you do specifically? Well, you know, we help. Well, no, you do nothing. You're just big business. The directors, some of them, and they're part-time. You know, they're on 250 grand a year. Tony Scott. Oh, yeah. Is he the brother of Ridley Scott, or am I wrong? Musgrave. Yeah, it's an absolutely huge scam. And last time, right, I was going into a supermarket. These people came up to me, hi, hello, how are you? These pretty girls and this black guy. And I said, yeah, what's up? Oh, would you like to give to our charity? I go, what is it? And they told me. I go, okay. I said, yeah, I will give to your charity if you can tell me what percentage of the money you take goes to the actual cause and what goes on admins, wages, and officers. And they went, oh, yeah, it's at least most of the money goes to the cause. I went, really? Firstly, you're a liar. You're being paid to do this, aren't you? Yes. Well, okay, there you go. And I looked up on my website and I said, well, according to me, your charity, I can't remember which one it was. It's one of the big ones. I said, only 10% of the money taken goes to charity. So, no, I won't give you my money. See ya, and I wouldn't want to be ya. My boy Fergus laughing. I don't know what you're laughing at, but I like to see you laugh. I don't see anybody laugh. Pizza was originally a poor man's food. Now it's become popular like Cordy Power. This go day one, the Corey tip. I bet you enjoyed my Cordy videos. Did you enjoy the Cordy, the Dev Coronation Chicken Sarnie? Yeah, you know, he deleted my messages, so he's on the rinse list. And I told him, I said, I rinsed him because he's really camp as well, and he's married to some beard, and I rinsed him. He's another guy, right? And he's another guy that's never boxed, right? And yet he's got the senior position in boxing. He's super camp, and I just rinsed him a little bit. It wasn't even that bad. And he deleted my message. And my pal goes, he's deleted your message. I said, right, well, he's getting rinsed. So I've gone back to his Insta. I told him, you know the rules, Dev. Yeah. You delete, you get rinsed. You're getting a video, bro. And I'm thinking you deleted that one too. So he's getting a video. He's going to get exposed. But, you know, right, let's imagine, right, if you had football commentators, right, and they never kicked a football in their life, and they never played any football, it would be an outrage, wouldn't it? If they were commentating on football, they'd never played it. They go, why would you have somebody? I mean, not even at school level, not even at any level, you'd never played it, right? You wouldn't have that. Or tennis, right? You know, one of the big sports, right? But in boxing, most of the people that commentate, write on boxing, yeah, and the journalists have never ever boxed. So what? They don't know what they're talking about. You know? Same with Dev, Coronation Chicken Sani. Railway and Boxing Fan 2000. I just want to say my favorite boxing YouTube channel. I love you. Oh, thanks, brother. That's really sweet of you, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I love to hear it back from the fans, and I hope I am original. But that's why I've been shadow banned. Generally, especially if I looked at the data from my early days, right? When I only had 1,000 subs, I'd just been monetized. I did lives. I used to get like, I only had 1,000 subs. I get 4 times the traffic on lives, and even the little videos. Would get like 2,000 views for a tiny channel. But once the red pill started coming out, now, you know, half my videos, they get shadow banned. I get people that tell me all the time, I don't get no, what's it called, acknowledgements when you've done a new video. I've been desubscribed to your channel. So, you know, I've got what, almost 6,500. It should be like more like 30,000, you know. And whatever, man. But I'm not going to change. You know, I just think, well, maybe I'll do a serious channel that isn't controversial, just talks about boxing. But that ain't me, blood. Shane Bogus wants me to tell you we are watching Hitler docs. Are you? Hey, Kirst. Hey, what up, Kirst Hardman? Where? Are you with Shane? Are you with Shane? You together with Shane watching, man? It's good to hear, man. It's great to hear, man. You and Shane are watching. Watching. Good. Watch Europa. What's it called? The Final Battle. That is the real red pill one. The first one was so eye-opening and depressing. I actually felt sick at how many people were starved, tortured, killed, and it's never spoken about. Those shops that ask you to donate and try and make you feel good about it too. Yeah, they do that less now. And also, like, when I was a kid, you know, I was like a bit like shy, and you know, I probably would have done it out of embarrassment. But now I'm like, no, or I ask some questions. What's the charity? I'm not sure. Okay, so why should I give you money? Well, I said no. Hey, David, what up, brother? What up? Late to the game. I don't know how much more I'm going to last because I've got this steak. I told you earlier about the steak that's all ready to be cooked, and I'm going to cut the fat off and I'm going to put it in the air fryer so it gets real crispy, and I'm going to pan fry really both sides of the steak on a high heat, and then it goes in the oven. And also I will put I'm going to put some seasoning. That's real nice seasoning. Another thing I've learned living here is the reason Cecilia Mafia's highlights to stop normies learning the app. Thank you, the J Mafia. And the Benign Benign Control Hollywood Vegas. Yeah. Right, you never see movies, do you? See all these movies about how evil the Italian Mafia was. How many movies are there about the J Mafia? There's like Bugsy Siegel, but he's kind of shown as a good guy. And then there's Casino, but no, the gangsters are all Italians. You know? The main guy, whatever his name is, the Robert De Niro character, you know, he's not a gangster. And they completely avoid it. What's it? Bugsy Siegel. What are the other ones? All these names. People tell me what the names are. Stand Up to Racism is a company. No. Hope you're good, bro. I am good. But thanks to my, you know, thanks to me funds. It's been great live, you know. Shane Moore goes, Curse, get me a beer. Go get your man a beer, Curse. And do you want some snacks too? As a youth, I briefly worked at Lottery. Really? I've seen this fake charity just blowing public cash, pure job. Yeah, it's sickening. You know, and the other scam is, of course, the BBC. And there's Jimmy Savile license, which I haven't paid for, like, I don't know, years, man. Totally. I mean, yeah, some of them are really that big in the 90s. Yeah, and it goes into directors, wages, offices, marketing. Oh, do we need all that? No, you don't need all that. You don't need a director earning 250 grand a year, and it's just a part-time thing for him. Kirsten goes, nah, she's not going to get Shane a beer. Come on, get Shane a beer, man. Why have you left the kitchen? I could see an open-handed slap coming. The Fury Corey video. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I wasn't sure I made it. I was so tired, but I said, I've got to do it. And I was going, is this cringe or is it good? Because sometimes you're tired. It's sometimes hard to tell, yeah. Well, so many boxers lie about their height. I don't know. It's like actors, isn't it? Tyson Fury is always on his tiptoes. He's like 6'7.5". He's absolutely not 6'9". And David Greenblatt said he was 6'9", and he's like no bigger than 6'2". I've seen the scammer in the flesh. Talking about Drexel, Yeah. Oh shit! I've got some cold water here to keep my champagne and Budweiser cold, but my wig fell in it. But yeah, David Greenblatt. The fight starts now. Can't stand that scum. Yeah, Disco Day, small independent charities. I give money. I give money to these. These are the following people: small independent local charities, right? Or homeless people on the streets. And if they're young, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not judging them. They might have gone through, they're probably addicted to drugs. They might have gone through a hard time, and I recognize that. As I said, I saw a young guy reading a book. I had to give him money. I ain't seen someone read a book for years, man. And then, you know, in public, and but old people on the streets, I'll always give money to. Funny enough, I see an old woman the other day. She went in the bus stop. I said, "You okay?" She had loads of stuff. Yeah, and I said, "Are you okay?" And I offered her £5. You know, I've got no money really, but she's like, "No, I'm okay. I've got some money." And she gave me that look. She didn't want to be harassed, which is fine. A lot of homeless are like hermits, you know. But when I see old people on the street, nah, man. ST, exactly, 0 notifications, man. Can you get unshadow banned? No. You can. They will come softer on you over time, but if you do things that, I mean, once you got a mark on you, you've got that mark on you. But there are different levels of shadow banning. I am, yes. You're what? In the kitchen. Oh, good girl, good girl. You're making a sandwich. Michael Maloney. Craze were apparently shockingly bad boxes, a couple of fruits. Not only fruits, but nonsense. And they had loads of people like, what's that guy called? Lord Boothby, yeah? Who lived in Eaton Square in a massive multi-million-pound house. Yeah, they had loads of links. And, I wonder what their religion was, eh? Oh, Shane Mogus. Oh, thank you, brother. Curses my blonde beauty friend. Oh, that's sweet. Friend or girlfriend, bro. But either way, it's nice, man. I hope she makes a good sandwich. Yeah, nice, Shane. Yeah, that's right, man. By the way, you see Big John Fisher with his own clothesline. He's basically selling different coloured tents. No, I've been blocked by him anyway. You see my videos because you've been blocked. From the four corners of the world to the four corners of around the ring. Let's get this shekel fest started. Can't stand that, Robin. I've had people, funds, just, like the odd selfie and picture, just, they're not obsessively about it, but, and everyone that I know does ask Greenblatt for a selfie gets knocked back. You have to pay him. You actually have to pay him, You used to get bums on the streets, pound, not anymore. Mostly on crack on it. They are, but that's not to mean that they haven't had a hard time. And being on the streets is rough, but and usually people. I mean, not always. Some people turn drugs just because they love it, but a lot of people have a traumatic background. So, and a quid is just a quid. But when I see old people on the streets, definitely. Yeah, David Greenblatt's apparently 6'9". I told him, seen him post like 6 foot, maybe 6 foot. He's such a liar. He said he was a bad boy. What did he say? A bouncer in some Baltimore rough club, which only black guys went to. Oh, what nonsense! There's even a story that he claimed. Well, obviously, he claimed he lost an arm. He claimed he had a bike crash, and I checked it. Yeah, because there's websites you can check it, and I found that there's no such crash. He just had some kind of back operation, and he pretended, and he'd obviously seen the Chubby videos, and I remember they discussed this on /box, yeah, and they were saying, oh, do you think he's released a video of Greenblatt, him in the hospital, to prove that he did have an accident? Do you think he's seen the Triple P video? Yeah, of course he had, man. His humble opinion: will the people ever overthrow corrupt governments? Will it always be the same? It takes weapons and it takes a lot of people. See, most revolutions are organized by wrong-uns anyway. Like the French Revolution. Napoleon. Oh, he's the man who hides his hand. Well, I wonder why he hides his hand. Napoleon got rid of the royal family, and they moved it to the secret society. And we don't have to talk about the Russian Revolution, do we? Yeah, we all know what was behind that, man. The great rebel held to go down on sound mentality. The Western is looking to the ancient Gnostic cultures, cult, the Manichaeans. I haven't pronounced it right. Babylonian money, magic, usury. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I mean, some of these things are quite heavy, and people get lost in it. Sometimes you have to start with a simpler thing. Paul Sykes, another complete wrong. And yeah, people would idolize him because he was an hard man. Yeah, he used to grape men. He used to grape men in prison. And also, he was a bully. I mean, yeah, he could fight, but he was a bully. He got knocked out by some Colin Manners or someone like that. He was pissed, giving him a hard time. I don't know if I've got the right name. Someone else can tell me. But he came in full of drink when his journeyman guy, but he had a punch, and he gave him a hard time. So this journeyman, who I think was Colin Manners, but I might be wrong, chinned him and knocked him out. I hope Norman Jr. chins Haney. So do I. He can. Jesus. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. Haney is a little bit of a coward now since he got wrecked by Ryan. I watched Liam Cameron New Lives. He ain't too bad. That's good because you didn't really like him, did you? Because you thought he was a bit of a crybaby. What are you planning for next video? A couple of rinses. Dev Coronation Street. Coronation Chicken Sani. He's getting it. I'm going to leave Otto for a bit because I've rinsed him enough. There's a few others. I want to talk about PD usage in boxing and how it works and how you can avoid tests and pass tests. I'm going to do some skits. Yeah, loads. I've got a huge list, man. Do you think if Jim Bowen was still alive, he'd take part in Misfits fights and grape someone backstage like he used to buzzer? Is that no? Please don't tell me Jim Bowen used to grape people. Please don't. I know. He was always drunk, but nothing ever came out about him. So I'd assume that he wasn't a wrong. Where did you hear this? Right, I'm going to stop in 10 minutes because I've got to make my steak. I will stop at 9 p.m. You see, unless I get bribed. You see that professor who predicted there'll be civil in the UK next 5 years? I haven't, but many people have. And that's part of the plan. See, that's what people don't understand. They want to cause chaos amongst people. And they've tested things. Have you noticed? I remember in central London, when I still lived in central London, they had these anti-climb paints being painted everywhere. I mean, there's no real such thing as anti-climb paint. It basically meant to be slight. They've got loads of little pebbles in it, so it's hard to grip and it hurts your hands. And they were painting everything with that. Why? Because they were expecting rats. And then they also had, was it 2000? When was it? 2011? No, it wasn't that. It was, I can't remember the day. They had all these rats in London and also Manchester because some gangster got whacked. Well, it wasn't really. It was organised. They're just preparing people for more riots. Should it be on the greens? No, I'm not. No, I'm not tonight. Dev Sandwiches is a cross-dresser. He's definitely can. Oh, Dev San, you remember? He was really excited when Gillet Shanks and they're banging everybody. Went like some little queen. The UCL lecturer told me years back. Yeah, I've been told by people who have links to powerful positions, businessmen, but they have links to powerful people. That there will be one. So it'll be. I've changed my opinion on Liam Cameron. He's sounded okay. Well, it's good. It's mature to be able to in view when you get new evidence. Of course, you should change the way you think. I hate people go, oh, I can't believe it. You said you really used to like him. Oh, you're so disloyal. It's like, no, I found more information on like Ricky Hatton. He's a degenerate. I'm not going to support him. Peter Rich, Lord Mountbatten, the uncle of our king, another nonce, correct. He was whacked by the Provo, wasn't he? He used to go and get kids from, what was that? There was a little orphanage, disgusting human being. And a craze, and a craze. What are you having with your steak? I don't know, to be honest. Asparagus. I found some asparagus for cheap. So I'm going to get some asparagus for sure. That's not all I'm going to eat. I've been eating late, which I shouldn't be doing, but because I've been going to the gym, I feel hungry, and I have someone threw me a bit of greens on the free, so that makes you hungry. Makes you hungry. But you shouldn't. I put on almost a stone in 10 days. Some of it is muscle, but I can see a bit of a belly there too. Right, I'm going to be closing up soon. Canelo's too big for Crawford. That's what I think. I see Canelo by KO. I don't. Crawford's got good defense. He's overrated. He's never beat that many good guys. He's only had 5 fights in 5 years, but he's still got a decent defense. Canelo's 2 weight classes above Crawford. They're at the same height. I think Canelo's 5'7", Crawford's 5'8". Yeah, Canelo's definitely shorter than they pretend. Tony Maloney, do you remember when Tony Bellin posted on Twitter that he let Colwell babysit his kids after Porky exposed? I know. He's such a bum, Tony. He's also flashed signals like that, and he's worn an actual all-seen-eye T-shirt. Yeah, and he went to his Batman brother's wedding, and he wore a rainbow ting. He's a wrong un, Tony Bellin. And every Scouser, by the way, has never done anything wrong, according to Bellend. He's an idiot, man. It's a shame because he seemed all right, but a revolution doesn't even have to overthrow a government. People just need to resist and enough the government to back down and not waste resources and murder too many citizens. That's a good point. You know, if you stop paying all your taxes and this and this and that and you know how to handle the police. The problem is most people are weak and they haven't got the balls and they want to watch Strictly Come Dancing at EastEnders and Man United. Disco Dave Chubo a bit gory. I think Disco Dave works for Tyson Fury, you know, or the what is it? The Federal Bureau of Corys. He has a lot of Corey action. Crawford semi-retired. Well, he's had one fight a year for 5 years. All right, guys. So we're getting close to the end. So firstly, it's very important that I say thanks to my man's Andrew, who came in very early with a £10. That's real nice. Shekel love for the champ. My boy Footnose, big up the Chip B show. My boy Fergus. He liked the Corey video. Footnose, big up Chubby Show. Fergus, my man's. Yeah. Oh, I just said that. Sorry. Black Caller, thank you very much. Shane Bongos in the house, obviously, as always. My boy Shane. I meant to change this to promoted, but I still have sponsored by Shane. But you know, sponsored is the wrong word. What I mean is endorsed. I'm going to try and find some people to promote the channel. I've actually been in conversations with. I'm not going to say much now. I'm in conversation with people to promote the channel, which will give me a bit more revenue, which means I can spend more time. My boy Matthew Wilson gave me 5 and then 2. Thank you, brother. Very generous. Loe, thank you for the £2, brother. Again, Matthew again. Oh, thank you again. And Shane again. Thank you. Shane's got a competitor, man. Matthew Wilson. No, but honestly, guys, thank you so much. It's so generous. I'm going to do another. Okay, I'm going to hopefully launch it tonight. I'm going to work tonight and launch and prepare it. I'm going to do a video. By the way, guys, when you went on the video, did you see the intro or not? Because I did a real special intro, which had the old ITV news, not news, boxing. You know, the ITV boxing, they had that really good tune. Ba, 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 and I did Triple B, you know, Triple B, what's it called, AI stuff. I don't know. Did you see it? It's meant to be the intro for everyone. Maybe I'll play it before I go. Canelo betting is getting closer to Crawford. Crawford's getting backed. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. Belly was British love. Enjoy it. Thank you, brother. It's gonna be beautiful. I can't wait. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna get I'm gonna do a live tomorrow at 10 a.m. probably 10 a.m. UK time, so that me Aussie fans can watch it because they're all sleep. Must be all sleeping now. I know we had my boy Gerard on earlier, but it must be. I don't know what time it is in Australia now, but I wanted to do it. I'd done it before, so I'll be releasing it. Obviously, everyone's welcome. It's a global one, but it'll be more timed to Australia, New Zealand, the Far East, Korea. The coffee will be coming. Yeah, see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Yes, brother. I'll see you then. Right. I thank you everyone so much. I just want to try and do this. What's this thing? Oh! I didn't mean that. Can I delete that? Yeah, I can delete that. Surely. I'm not promoting StreamYard. They're awful. They rip you off. Okay, media assets. Let's see if I can play my intro. No, I can't. Oh, I'll have an outro video. Yeah, I can say I have an outro video, which is the same video. I hope you like it, man. Thank you very much, everyone. Peace in the Middle East. You know, respect in every aspect. And I'll see you soon. Hopefully tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for the love, the great comments. It's been a super show. I really enjoyed it. I can't believe 3 hours went like that. Okay. Hopefully, put in the comments actually. Tell me. Hopefully, if I've done it right, you should be able to get my little skit. So see you guys later. Yeah.